at grapeandreadymix.com.
Because you know they're steady.
Ladies and gentlemen, captains for this evening, for the Bueller Crusaders, number 12, Brendan Stripsick, number 15, Brady Gotti, number 33, Nick Gazaway, and number 68, Bodie Redenbaugh. For your Panthers, number 12, Daxton Minton, number 14, Ian Premer, number 51, Trenton Kern, and number 58, Aiden Davidson. Head coaches this evening for the Crusaders, Steve Warner, and for the Panthers, Aaron Beck.
Offensive coordinator.
Painting palette.
Painting palette.
Ooh, nice descriptive term.
Yes,
there.
thank you. Thank you.
Like
I was working on changing that up a little bit this week.
All righty, and we'll be right back after this.
And no one here.
I'm guessing then that means Bueller won the toss and deferred until the second half. I did miss that. Had a little bit of rain come through about 5:10. The field is in great shape. You gotta love the field turf at this point. As it weathered a storm, we didn't have a lot of rain here at the stadium. Looks like we had probably a little bit more rain to the south of Great Bend. As we get started, a reminder that tonight's opening kickoff is brought to you by Barton Community College. Explore your future at Barton. Bueller dressed in their white uniforms, black numerals trimmed in looks like red, and Great Bend in their black uniforms, white numerals, they're trimmed in red as well. Bueller will kick off from right to left or from south to north as we get started. Game 3 of the high school football season, just a little bit late getting started. And if the opening kickoff is any indication of the past 2 games, something exciting might happen here. As having the ball teed up for the Bueller Crusaders. The ball is in the air, and it's going to be taken by Cooper Omont at the 6-yard line. He moves up the field, cuts to his left. He's out across the 20. He has a hole, and he's going to be out to the 30, and that's where Great Bend will start their first possession of the contest at their 31-yard line. And what a disappointment. Nothing exciting on that first play.
Well, nothing exciting, but Raborti just continues to chew it up on special teams. He did a great job right there of taking his dagger man that was down the middle of the field and just ran him outside and gave Cooper Omok that room to run around the outside.
31-yard line for GBHS, moving to left to right up front. Once again, Inslee, Kern, Brown, Davidson, and Kaiser. Dax Minton will be in shotgun formation. 2 backs split to either side of him, and 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. In motion goes Dax Minton. They snap it back, but it looks like a Panther jumped a little bit early as it was a direct snap back to Cooper Omont, but the offensive penalty against Great Bend will back them up 5 yards.
And Great Bend just had a little trouble there at the line of scrimmage, tried to run a little bit of trickery right off the bat. They were going to motion Minton out of the backfield, direct snap to Omok and bring him around the outside, but looks like we had a perimeter receiver get off the line of scrimmage just a little bit too early.
Ball moved back 5 yards, be 1st and 15 for GBHS. Underway, about 45 minutes late. About 75 degrees in the Great Bend area right now, a little bit of humid. Shotgun formation for Minton. As in motion goes Ian Premer, left to right across the line of scrimmage. Now Minton back to pass, throws out to the corners. Ball is going to be dropped in and out of the hands of the receiver, Jacob Hall. It will bring up a 2nd down and 15. Pretty good pass. Jacob just couldn't hang on to it.
You know, and that's a great pass. It's a 10-yard out route. Offensive line did a great job of stonewalling any kind of pressure that Bueller was bringing, and Minton put it right on the numbers, 10 yards. He threw it about 35 yards to get it out there, but it was a 10-yard out route, and Hall just didn't get his head around in time.
Ball on the left hash. Great Bend, 2nd down, 15 from their own 26, just underway here at Memorial Stadium in Great Bend. After the storm's passed, it's a pretty nice night for football here in Great Bend. As Minton calls out signals, now gets the snap, back to pass, looking, now looks to scramble, throws it across the middle to Ian Premer. He has it, he's across the midfield stripe, cuts down to the 40, and that's where he's dragged down. As Minton connects with Ian Premer, and Sean, we talked about there is a flag on the play. There is a flag back at the 23-yard line, and the Panthers are moving backwards, so it's going to be a hold against Great Bend. So that's the 2nd penalty already in 3 plays against Great Bend.
And that's very unfortunate. You know, you started to allude to it. We talked earlier in the game about Premer only had 6 catches on the season so far, and they've needed to get him more active in the offense. That time he did a great job of just slipping behind the backers and getting down the seam. Minton, as protection broke down, stepped up into the pocket, which was great. He didn't try to bowl around to the outside of the pocket. He stepped up into it, but unfortunately one of the linemen over there on the left side of the line of scrimmage grabbed a defensive end from tackling Minton. 2 penalties now against Great Bend, 15 yards. It's going to be a 2nd down and 25. We played 19 seconds, getting off to a little bit of a rough start here in the game. Not a lot of flow early on. As Minton back in shotgun formation, Jay Sharks just off to his left, 2 receivers to the near and to the far. Minton gets the snap, now being chased, rolls out to his left, being chased from behind, looking to scramble. Now gets it downfield, has a man out there. It's going to be, oh, what a catch! Cooper Omont with the catch across the midfield stripe. He had to dive and make the catch, but he's able to come up with it. And Great Bend on a 2nd down and 25. They convert, and it's 1st down at the Bueller 47-yard line. You know, when you have athletes that can just create plays, It is a definite benefit. And that particular play right there, Will Hainan was in putting all kinds of pressure on Minton to the wide side of the field, was right on his coattails. Minton was able to launch the ball downfield. And I'll tell you what, Omok caught that ball on his shoestrings and had the wherewithal to pull it off of the ground and roll and catch the football.
Good for a gain of 37 yards, 1st and 10. Hand off to Omot. He's across the 45 down to about the 43-yard line. So Great Bend with a gain of about 5 on the play. 2nd down and 5 as the big second down play for the Panthers, and now we're in Bueller territory.
I'm not so sure we don't need to put a 1 behind that 2 on Omok and change his number to 21 and call him Primetime, because he does a little bit of everything. You know, Primetime used to play secondary. He returned punts. He was a receiver. Cooper Omok out there, he does a little bit of everything. And if you're Bueller's defensive coordinator, you better know where number 2's at.
He doesn't talk as much as Dion does, so we'll give him credit for that as well.
He jumps.
He jumps. Okay. 2nd down and 6. Ball inside the 45 at the 43. Great Bend in Bueller territory. Snap back a little bit high, but Minton able to pull it down. Has plenty of time. Still looks over the middle. There's Premer, and this one goes to the hands of the 6'6" soft junior, incomplete. Brings up a 3rd down and 4. It's 10-11 to play in the first quarter. No score.
That offensive line is doing a great job. Minton had nobody within 3 or 4 yards of him, sitting back in the pocket. Red Hall up over the top. Hall pulled the safeties with him, and then all of a sudden, running a secondary route behind Hall was Premer. Broke right into the open. Minton put it right on his hands.
3rd down and 6. Ball at the 43-yard line. GBHS moving left to right here. No score, just underway. Less than 2 minutes have elapsed thus far in the first quarter. Everybody stands up now, looks over to the sidelines. They have the signs up, and everybody knows their play now. So they're back into formation. The handoff goes to Omar, and he's going to break a couple tackles. He gets to the 41. Don't think he got quite to the 40. It's going to be a gain of about 2 on the play. Brings up a 4th down, and we'll call it 4 for GBHS.
Coach Warner for Bueller talked about it before. He can't just line up against a big offensive line because he's undersized on that front, the front 4 of his defensive line. So what he does is he runs different looks and different run stunts. And that time, Cash Carson, number 1, a senior, 5'7", 140 pounds, shot through a gap and was right in the backfield and broke up the flow of the play and dropped the Panthers for a loss.
Great Bend going for it on 4th down, and we'll call it 4. Ball at the 41-yard line. Handoff. Nope, back to passes. Minton faked the handoff. Still has plenty of time. Now throws over the middle. Has a man. It's going to be caught out there. Catch by Jacob Hall. He's inside that 20. And the Panthers, for the 2nd time in this drive, have converted a long pass to move the chains.
Minton just does a nice job of buying himself time, letting that play develop. That actually wasn't a set of quick routes. They were flowing themselves down the field, and Minton was getting a little pressure. What he did is he bought himself a little time by dropping back. Really, what do you have to risk on 4th down? If you're not going to get it, throw it up. But he was able to find Hall streaking down the middle of the field.
Gain of 22 on the play, 1st and 10. Handoff going right up the middle and going not very far in this play. They're still letting them play. As Aiden Davidson with the carry.
I thought that was 58 that rammed it up inside there. They moved Premer out of the full house backfield and brought Aiden in there, and I'll be darned if they didn't go ahead and give him a carry here for this season.
I had to wait to hear the PA announcer to make sure I was seeing things right. Ball spotted at the 18. It's going to be 2nd down and 9. 8:25 to play, first quarter. Great Bend with the first possession of the contest have converted a 3rd down and long and a 4th down and long and have the ball inside Bueller's 20-yard line. Minton back to pass. Rolls out to his left. Throws. Is going to be caught out there by Ian Premer. He makes a man miss. He's inside the 5. He'll dance into the end zone with a touchdown. Ian Premer. That is just his. That's going to be his first TD reception of the year. That one goes for 18 yards. And the Panthers, with 8:07 to play in first quarter, go on top 6-0.
Nothing real fancy. You move your playmakers out and you go for matchups. And that time the Panthers went out. They got one-on-one coverage over there on Premer. Premer runs just a little quick 5-yard out. Minton does a good job of delivering it to him in stride and allowed him to make a move, make the first man miss, do a little dance, and get himself into the end zone.
Omar Rosario's extra point is no good, and Great Bend continues to struggle on point after attempts, but the Panthers score at the 8:07 mark of the first quarter as Dak Smith hits Ian Premer from 18 yards out, and Great Bend leads it by a score of 6-0. Great Bend Sports is powered by Equity Bank. They never forget it's your money. We'll be right back to Great Bend.
Scott's Welding is proud to support Panther Sports. Scott's Welding is fully insured, has certified welders with 24-hour service. For reliable service and community spirit at Scott's Welding, look for the signs west of 10th and Patton Road, Great Bend. Go Panthers!
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff.
The official home of Panther football is B1043, The Point.
Great Bend, after scoring in the first 2 possessions of the first couple of games, one on a kickoff return and the other converting a fumble recovery on the opening kickoff into points. This time, they do one of those sustained drives we had talked about in pregame. 11 plays, 69 yards, 4 minutes and 13 seconds off the clock. Dak Smith is hitting Ian Premer with an 18-yard touchdown pass. 6-0 GBHS as Omar Rosario has the ball keyed up at the 40-yard line. As the lights are back to full bore here, there's a script kick. It's going to be taken at the 15-yard line, bobbled, finally picked up by the Bueller Crusaders with the football. That is Daryl Skripsick. He's going to get back to the 24-yard line. That's where Bueller will start first and 10 at their own 24-yard line. GBHS on top, 6-0.
Great job by Dominic Price to get down in coverage and get his name in the books with the stop on the kickoff return. Just absolutely what the Panthers needed to do was come out, drive it down the field. They converted on a couple of fourth downs, a 3rd and long. Just a very nice sustained drive and used a lot of their different weapons on that opening drive.
That was the first score of the first half, so if you're the third person to text 620-639-6WIN, that's 620-639-6946, you'll get your choice of a meal from Delgado's menu. That's score first with the Panthers and Delgado's. Handoff going to Ben Klaus. He breaks to the outside, lowers his shoulder, trying to battle, going to get to about the 29-yard line. That's going to be a pickup of 5. Hard running there by the 5'9", 160-pound junior Ben Klaus.
You know, and that's one of the deals is from a defender's perspective, you want to come up and you want to get your pad level low. 22's got his pad level so low just naturally. Klaus, he runs low, he runs hard. Got to keep your head up, number 1, to avoid injury, and number 2, just see through the running back.
2nd down, 5 for Bueller. They're moving it right to left here. Great Bend on top, 6-0 after a sustained touchdown drive. Capped by a Minton to Primer touchdown pass. Hand off to Klaus. Klaus tipped up in the backfield, falls across the 30. We'll give him right at the 30. That'll be a pickup of 1. 3rd down and 4 for Bueller.
Great job by Snoblin there to get really good penetration, which made Klaus try to make a cut. But standing over there on the end was Jay Schartz, who forced him inside to the rest of the Panther defense.
7 minutes exactly remaining in the first quarter. Great Bend on top, 6-0. Little delayed getting started tonight because of some lightning in the air. Not much rain here at the stadium. But the lightning forced things to be moved back 45 minutes, but we're underway here. Early stages of the first quarter. Fake the handoff this time. Skripsick goes out to his right, rolls, throws a pass. It's going to be over the head. But well coverage downfield there by Omach and Ian Premer for the Panthers.
And that's what the Panthers need to really focus defensively on, is slowing that run down and make Skripsick try to beat you through the air. I think the Panthers secondary is more than up to that task to be able to hold that off, but just a great job. Again, we talk about, hey, your offense goes down, what a script, they score, what happens? Your defense comes on, 3 and out, get the ball, and they should end up with pretty good field position.
4th down, congratulations to Robin Robinson. She is the winner of the Delgados. She won last week. I didn't mention her name last year. She won last week. She's in the high kick. Omar will just let it bounce. It goes out of bounds. So Great Bend should have pretty good field position here, and we'll see where they spot this one as we do the old walk up the sidelines, what we talked about, been doing that for years. And they're going to spot it right where it went out of bounds, about the 36-yard line. That's where GBHS will take over.
A lot of hang time on that play. Good job by Cooper just to wave his arms and clear everybody out. You know, that first drive, the Panthers did something we hadn't seen this year. they didn't worry about having Premer so much in the backfield. What they do is just by alignment, you can make a defense change what they're doing. So when you move Premer out there and put him on the perimeter, that whole defensive coordinator's calls change and actually go around Premer. And you could just see by his presence being around the outside and on the perimeters, it was very beneficial for the Panthers.
Game time temperature here at GBHS was at 75 degrees on a Friday night, third week. There's a toss to Omot. He tries to get to the outside, cups up just outside the numbers. He'll bounce across the 40, fall to the 41. That'll be a pickup of 4 for Cooper Omot. And the Panthers have a second down and 6. 6:18 to play first quarter. Great Bend 6, Bueller nothing.
You know, a long time ago in the land far, far away, I was calling football games, and there was another Omocht in the backfield, and old Dave Webb was their coach, and he always had, it was like a power sweep, and all of a sudden Chad Omocht would plant that foot and just quickly get upfield 6 or 7 yards, and number 2 looked just like his dad on that play. Second down, 5, ball just across the 40-yard line, and they hand off this time. Nice defensive play in the backfield by Bueller. See if we can get his number. That's going to be a loss on the play for the Panthers. Nice defensive play there. Was it number 11? It was either 11 or 51, and I'm thinking it was 51.
Okay.
It was Hainan, and we called his number earlier, and what they're doing is, again, they are stunning their defensive line, slanting hard one way, either to the field or to the sideline, and then their linebackers are coming in on the back sides of those, and sometimes you will come through scot-free on that. Loss of 4 on the play, so it's going to bring up a third down and 10. Ball at the original line of scrimmage, which is the Great Bend 36-yard line. Moving left to right here in quarter number 1, up 6-0. And Minton has to step through a couple defenders, as Bueller that time came with a lot of defenders, and they get Minton for the loss, and Great Bend will be forced to punt. And again, just by scheme, you know, Warner knows what he's doing over there. He came in and he brought a lot of heat and a lot of pressure. The Panthers all had deep routes. What they've got to do is they've got to be able to cut those off. If you see 2 backers coming up the field, one of those interior receivers needs to just go displace where those linebackers were, and then it's just quick outlet pass from easy pitch and catch. Loss of 5 brings up a fourth down, we'll call 13. Trent Kern back in punt formation. He gets a kick away. It's going to bounce at the 45-yard line and then skip across the white boundary on the far sideline into the Bueller sideline, and that's where the Crusaders will take over this possession. Great Bend leads it 6-0 thus far, leading the way for the Panthers. Dax Minton throwing the football. I have him 3 out of 5 for 75 yards and a touchdown to Ian Premer. Well, if you're Bueller, you've got to think, well, we just got to get ourselves into sync here and look for them to have a steady diet of Klaus in this second series. Ben Klaus, a 5'9", 160-pound junior, already has 328 yards rushing this season coming into the contest, had over 200 yards in one of the first 2 games for the Crusaders. They hand off. He's a little hesitation. He's out across the 42. He's going to fall forward to the 44. That'll be a pickup of 3, second down and 7 for Bueller, dressed in their traveling white uniforms with black numerals. Right now, Schnoblin is creating all kinds of havoc in that backfield, making Klaus bounce himself away from the intended run lane and just allowing the rest of the Panther defense to come and fly in and make stops. 3 carries for Klaus thus far, 9 yards. Second down for the Crusaders. This time Skripsic keeps the ball on an option play. He's going to keep it, turns upfield inside of the hash marks. He's across the midfield stripe to the Great Bend 47. Good enough for a first down. So the Crusaders with their first down in the contest, as the official says, that's a first down. Bueller will retain possession of the football. And that's what happens if you're plugging up the inside and you're unable to run that ball to the inside. They're going to go ahead and they're going to test us out on the perimeter, and they pull an option. I got to be honest, I kind of like that the Panthers did. Yeah, we gave up the first down, but instead of flying up and stopping the quarterback from running the ball, he's not going to hurt you near as much as Klaus will. 9-yard gain on the play. First and 10 for Bueller, moving right to left. Full house backfield. They hand off to Klaus. He has a hole, but he's going to be tripped up. Nice job by
the Panthers getting off the turf. That was Jacob Hall. Klaus had some yardage if he could get by Jacob Hall, but Jacob able to trip him up after gain of 5, 2nd down and 5.
Gazaway, the fullback for Bueller, just did a great job of kicking out our defensive end over on the short side of the field there and gave Klaus his running lane up inside.
2:52 to play first quarter. Great Bend scoring on their first possession of the contest. They lead at 6-0 here in the first quarter. As we mentioned a couple times, the start of the game delayed by 45 minutes because of lightning in the area. Second down, 5. Back to pass to Skripsic, looking to the far sideline. Has a man wide open on the out route, and it's caught at the 30-yard line. That's going to be good for a first down. A gain of 13, a gain of a 12. They're going to spot it at the 31. So Bueller moving the football on their second possession.
And when you start running the football, a lot of times you get those secondary players who are peeking into the backfield. Our defender over there on that side, Omok, never got out of his back pedal because he was peeking to the back of the infield or back into the backfield. Reading the quarterback, and the receiver broke it off at about 12-yard little comeback route, and they delivered a strike over there for a first down.
Ball to 31-yard line for Bueller. Option play coming to the near sideline. Scripps will pitch led to Klaus. He gets the corner turned. It's a foot race to the end zone, and Klaus is going to go the distance. Touchdown for Bueller at 31 yards for Ben Klaus. And Bueller able to take their second possession, and they drive it in for the tying touchdown as we await the point after touchdown attempt. 2:20 to play into the first quarter, 6-all tie.
Very well executed option play there by Bueller. Skripnik brings it around to the outside, and this time our defensive end folded in and stopped the quarterback from running. The quarterback pitches the ball out and catches Klaus, and Mitchell McDaniel, a 5'8 senior for Bueller, was on the outside perimeter making a key block that sprung him for the touchdown.
Last year against Great Bend, Klaus went for 100 yards. This PAT is good. And Bueller at the 2:20 mark, they go on top by a score of 7-6. We'll be right back to Memorial Stadium in Great Bend after this. A reminder of that Panther Sports is powered by Equity Bank. They never forget it's your money.
Do you need some trees removed, fill dirt or rock for landscaping or driveway? Maybe you need some demolition work done or a giant waste container. Whatever the job, make the call to Stone Sand Company and Stone Waste Management, 421 Washington Street in Great Bend.
Beef, it's what's for dinner. America's taste for beef continues to grow, and much of that nutritious product is produced here in our local community. Innovative Livestock Services, Ward Feed Yard, Great Bend Feeding, and Barton County Feeders are proud to support area athletes in today's game.
It's Panther football on B1043 The Point.
Bueller goes 58 yards in 5 plays in 2 minutes and 5 seconds, capped off by a 31-yard touchdown run by Ben Klaus. The PAT is good, and the Crusaders, they are a 4A school out of the Ark Valley Chisholm Trail Division III, and they're on top of Great Bend 7-6. They did beat Great Bend last year by a score of 20-14, so Great Bend trying to get a little payback from last year. But right now they're in a battle early on, 2:20 to play first quarter. Great Bend back in kickoff formation as the ball is teed up at the 40-yard line for the Bueller Crusaders. They're kicking off from our right to our left here, or that would be south to north. Back deep for Great Bend is Cooper Omot. There's a high spinning kick. Cooper comes up with it, but it's going to be taken away from him by Jacob Hall. He's going to be tripped up into the backfield just across the 20-yard line to the 21-yard line as Jacob kind of reached up and took that one away from Cooper and then was tripped up from behind.
Well, and that's one of those plays where if you're the return man, you always want to say, hey, clear out, clear out, clear out. You're buying an extra blocker. If not, then go ahead and jump out in front. But Hall caught that ball, and there was really nobody in front of him to lead the way for him to block. And Hirschberger, number 11 for Bueller Crusaders, did a nice job in coverage there, flying down the field.
7-6 Bueller, 2:16 to play, quarter number 1. Great Bend splits out 3 receivers to the far sideline. Right next to the right hip of Cooper Omot, or of Dax Minton, is Jay Sharts. Back to pass is Minton, throws over, has a man open, caught by Omot. He's across the 35, out across the 40. They're going to spot him at the 41, at the 42. That'll be a gain of 20. And let's see, do we have a flag, I believe? The Great Bend players are not moving, and it is going to be another penalty against the Great Bend Panthers as Aaron Beck now out onto the field discussing things with the official.
Like they got a pass interference call of some sort. Maybe a pick over there, but just it was a great ball by Minton to throw it right up over the top of that linebacker who was out in flat coverage.
Aaron Beck, head coach of Great Bend, talking to the back judge. As now he wants to bring the judge over, the official over, and talk to him, the man in a black and white striped shirts, explaining things to the ninth-year head coach of Great Bend, Aaron Beck, 43-37 in his 9 years here at Great Bend. Now the White Hat's going to stroll out across the 30-yard line and talk things over with the two. All I know was I was down on the field when these officials pulled up and they had Sedgwick County plates. That's all I know, and that's all I'll say.
Well, typically you don't see this. If there's a flag on a play, there's usually not a need to have clarification, but they're actually trying to clarify why you threw a pass interference flag. Interesting.
Not sure Aaron Beck is satisfied with it, but he's still talking things over. He's out near the 30-yard line. Now we'll walk back to the sidelines, across the white stripe, and Great Bend will face a first down and 21 after the 11-yard penalty. Great Bend has now been penalized 3 times for 26 yards. Bueller has been yet to be called for an infraction. This moves the ball all the way back to the 11-yard line, where Great Bend will have it. It's going to be a first down and 21 as the clock ticks under 2 minutes to play first quarter. Bueller answered the Great Bend's opening drive. They lead at 7-6. Snap back to Minton. He's being rushed. Now he throws out. The ball is caught by Omot, and he spins across the 10 out to the 15-yard line. That will be a pickup of 4. Bring up a second down and 17.
And that's one of the tough things to run screens against a stunning line. Sometimes the stunt is actually just to slide down the line and let the backers scrape up over the top. And what happened is as the first wave didn't really get up the field, they slid at an angle, and the linebackers just kind of displaced to the other play, and they folded themselves right into the lane of the run for the screen pass.
Yeah, he gave him a 5-yard pickup, second down and 16. Ball at second down, 16, the ball at the 16. As Great Bend moving left right here, closing seconds of the first quarter. Here comes the pressure as Minton now has to scramble, and he's going to be sacked. He's going to go down about the 13-yard line as Bueller that time brought a host of Crusaders, and Dax really had nowhere to go.
You know, Tom Brady made a living, and he's the GOAT for a reason. Whenever there's any kind of pressure like that, at the end of the play when Daxton went down, I looked up, and all of our receivers were 25 to 30 yards down the field. Had any one of those receivers broke off and just drug across the field, there's nobody within 30 yards of them. So they've got to take one guy out of his route if they're going to bring that much pressure and slip him underneath the defense, and you catch it, you're going to run a long way.
Third down 18, final seconds of the first quarter. Bueller on top, 7-6. Dax looking down the middle, has Primer, and the ball is going to be, he had it almost intercepted and almost caught. Making the play was Quentin Pisano for Bueller. He almost had the interception. Ian almost had the reception, but the ball fell to the field turf incomplete. That'll bring him a fourth down, and Great Bend will have to punt the football away.
And just a nice job by Primer of breaking up that potential interception. Minton put the ball where it needed to be put. And they did break it off. The only thing is when you break it off, you want separation from that defender. And you're not going to get separation breaking a skinny post. You actually have to break flat across the field and get a 5-yard separation.
Trent Kern in punt formation, gets this kick away. It's going to be a high, short kick, maybe off the side of his foot. It hits at the 33 and bounces out of bounds at the 37-yard line. So Bueller will have great field position here to start this drive. They lead at 7-6, late stages of quarter number 1.
Well, and hopefully you noticed that the Panther coaching staff was all over there. The defensive coordinators were all gathered up trying to figure out what to do. Right now the Panthers they still have to be able to thump the run game down up in the middle, but what you need to do is you also need to have run support from your secondary coming off the corners in order to stop that option look that Bueller's answer to us stopping the run between the tackles.
Bueller scored on a 31-yard touchdown run by Ben Klaus. Got the PAT. They lead at 7-6 after Great Bend started scoring with an 18-yard touchdown pass from Dax Minton to Ian Primer. Left to right, white-cladded Bueller. I formation. Under center is the quarterback. That is Brandon Skripczyk. He hands off to Klaus. He gets the corner turn. Now plants his right foot and just dives forward, and he's going to be close to a first down after the pickup of 9. We'll see where they're slotted. Now we're going to have a flag thrown on the far sideline. One of those where the flag went about 15 yards up into the air. And we're going to have a discussion here. That's 3 seconds to play in the quarter. We'll see what the call is.
Well, if I can barely see the program in front of my nose here, there's no way I'm going to be able to tell what happened clear on that side of the field, but you can hear the Bueller fandom over there not happy about something, and then a flag did get thrown there very late right on the Bueller sideline.
It was a 10-yard pickup for Ben Klaus, and Great Bend, see if they're going to be penalized one more time here. They've already been penalized 3 times for 26 yards as the White Hat comes to the middle of the field, and one of the other officials just keeps marching down the field against Great Bend. It's going to be a mark off of 15 yards. It moves the ball all the way down to the 13-yard line. So Bueller threatening to score. They're inside of the red zone at the 13-yard line.
Well, and Great Bend's been able to come up big in a lot of situations. You know, this one here right at the end of the first quarter, and that will actually end the first quarter, and we'll flip ends.
End of one quarter. Bueller 7, Great Bend 6. Bueller inside the red zone as we start the second quarter. Panther Sports is powered by Equity Bank. They never forget it's your...
The trouble with the future is that it
possession. They would get a 31-yard touchdown run by Ben Klaus, and they go up 7-6 after the PAT. Then after a 3-and-out and a short punt by the Great Bend Panthers, Bueller now has the ball 1st and 10 inside the 15 at the Great Bend 13, and they're already leading 7-6.
Just amazing what adjustments, how big adjustments are by coaching staff. Of course, Great Bend drove right down. Great Bend's defense came out, forced a 3-and-out, and since that point, Bueller's made a few adjustments into their run game and went a little deeper into their playbooks and had a little bit of success against the Panthers, and the Panthers have just kind of lost their composure just a little bit here, and just need to get that back and come up with a big couple of plays.
Well, Steve Warner has been coaching for over 40 years, so he has just a little bit of experience, the head coach of the Bueller Crusaders. As Skripczyk gets the football, he cuts up just inside the hash mark and inside the 10, and he's going to be down to the 8 across the far sideline. That's going to be a pickup of 5 on the play. 2nd down and 5 from the Great Bend 8.
And that was a nice job by Premer coming up from the secondary. Again, Bueller tried to run that wide side option play. And the thing is that Skripczyk is not getting to the outside quickly. He's just kind of slow playing and letting it. Well, what that should do is that should allow your linebackers in your secondary to scrape and get wide and force everything back into the inside.
11:27 to play. Second quarter just underway. Bueller inside the Great Bend 10-yard line. And as the snap is given back to the quarterback, Skripczyk, there's a flag play. A flag throw, and it's going to be the first penalty against Bueller. It'll back him up 5 yards back to the 14.
You know, and that's a huge play for the Panthers right there. They need to be able to capitalize on that penalty. That's one of those plays where you can certainly blow up a drive, because 2nd and 5, your playbook is quite large. 2nd and 11, it's a lot different.
Great Bend needs a stand here. It'll be a 2nd down 11 ball at the Great Bend 14-yard line. After the first drive, Bueller pretty much has owned the contest, but we're early stages of the second quarter. Left to right moves Bueller in the second quarter. Snap back to Skripczyk. He drops way back. A little screen pass on the far sideline going to Ben Klaus. He's inside the 10. Breaks a couple tackles, and he's going to squeeze into the end zone for the touchdown. Skripczyk with a little screen pass over to Ben Klaus, and Klaus scores, and Bueller on top 13-7 at the 10:50 mark of the first half.
That play was very well executed. I was watching AD overcoming on the outside. Aiden Davidson, it looked like he had just absolutely smoked the defensive end, was going to be right in the backfield to make the play. But what it was they influenced Aiden up the field, made him feel like he had beat him, and they were setting up the screen to the wide side of the field, and there were just levels of blockers out all along that far sideline.
Point after touchdown attempt coming from the white-cladded Crusaders. Snap is good, the hold is good, and the kick is good as well. And Bueller, they got the best of Great Bend last year, and they're on top tonight, 14-6 with 10:50 to play. Oh, they said that was no good. Okay, so it was no good. 13-6 at the 10:50 mark, and we'll be right back. Panther Sports is powered by Equity Bank. They never forget it's your money. Bueller goes 37 yards in 4 plays in 1:25. It was a 14-yard touchdown pass from quarterback Brandon Skripczyk to Ben Klaus, and Klaus has a running touchdown and a receiving touchdown, and Bueller leads Great Bend by a score of 13-6. It's 10:50 to play, second quarter.
You know, one of those situations right now, just dust it off. You know, that you had a couple of plays that you struggled on. You maybe didn't get as good of a flipped field on special teams as you would have wanted earlier. They were advantageous in a couple of penalties. You just need to regroup. The seniors, leaders need to come together and just, you know, dust yourself off, reload, and here we go.
As Salvador Perez of the Kansas City Royals would say, just flush it. You got to flush it. Kickoff taken by Omont at the 11-yard line. He moves, tries to get to the outside, tries to cut up, but breaks a tackle, and he's out across the 20, close to the 24-yard line. But a nice job on the kickoff coverage team, the Bueller Crusaders. Well, you can tell they're well coached, as their man has been there quite a while. That's Steve Warner. He is 277 wins and 112 losses, 13 shy of 300.
Well, you just like to see on the return, we had Hayden Kelly had locked into one of the cover men down there, and he actually let him go and moved up to the next level. Unfortunately, that was the player that was able to stalk Domock. Once you make contact with somebody, you should always keep a hold of them or keep on them until you see the hind end of your return man.
Great Ben, first and 10 at the 24-yard line. The Dax thought about a quick pass, but then held back, and he's going to be sacked again. And I believe this will be the third sack of the contest. This one's going to be back to the 21-yard line, 22-yard line. That's going to be a loss of 2.
Again, just one of those plays where Bueller's running all kinds of stunts up front. They're confusing our defensive line. The Panthers had really just 2 men out in single routes. Dax Minton's got one place where he's going to go with the football. If he doesn't see it, he just needs to go ahead and tuck himself up, and probably could have ended on a positive 3 or 4 yard play. Instead, he tries to do a little bit of Mahomes and ends up losing a few yards.
2 minutes into the second quarter, Bueller on top of 13-6. Great Bend facing a second down and 12 from their own 22-yard line. Minton this time tries to break outside, has a pass almost intercepted, knocked up into the air, and it falls to the turf incomplete. That ball was dangerously up in the air for a few seconds, but fortunately for GBHS, it fell to the field turf incomplete.
Well, just again, Bueller's just doing a great job right now of breaking the rhythm of passing plays, breaking the timing of passing plays by getting pressure up the field, which is forcing Minton to step up into the pocket. You know, again, probably would have been more advised to go ahead with his speed to tuck himself down and run. but he tried to force the ball in there to a receiver short into the flat.
Third down and long for GBHS. Third down and 12. Ball at the 22-yard line after the first drive. Great Bend has not done much. That's rolling out to his right now, being pressured, throws it up for grabs, and this one's going to fall incomplete. He was looking on the near sideline to Hayden Kelly, but there defensively for Bueller was Jared Miller, and Great Bend is going to have to punt another 3-and-out for GBHS.
Just right now, the Great Bend Panthers are having all kinds of trouble with the pressure that Bueller is bringing. Look for them to come back, throw a few screens, get a little bit of misdirection here, and they've got to be able to slow down the pressure or the heat that Bueller is bringing with that quick defensive line.
Trenton Kern in a punt formation. He's averaging 41 yards a kick. This one is away. It's a spinner. It's going to be out of bounds, and Bueller looks like they may start in Great Bend territory again, as we'll see where they spot this one. It landed out of bounds about the 46, and that's where they're going to spot it. So it's still going to be on the Bueller side of the field, but it's going to be at the 46. This is where Bueller starts this drive. They've had a lot of short fields here after that opening first couple of possessions.
Well, the Panther defense right now just really needs to come up and make some big plays and get a hold of this momentum and rip it back away from Bueller Crusaders.
Panther Sports brought to you by Keller Real Estate and Insurance Agency, Insurance Planning, Equity Bank, and the 10th Street Eye Care Center. Under center is quarterback for Bueller. That is a 6'3", 220-pound senior Brandon Skripczyk. Handoff going to the tailback, Ben Klaus, and Klaus runs hard. That's what the coach told us in the pregame show. He's across the midfield stripe to the Great Bend 47. That's going to be a gain of 7. Second down and 3.
73, John Aldrich, a sophomore, 245 pounds, 5'9" did a great job of pulling from the backside, getting around to the defensive end over here, exploding him and driving him out of the hole, which opened up Klaus for a big gain of 8.
7 carries for Klaus thus far, 63 yards, including that 31-yard touchdown run. He also has a touchdown pass to his credit tonight. They fake the pitch to Klaus, and they hand off to the up back. He powers his way inside the 45-yard line down to the 42. I believe that was going to Nick Gazaway with the carry, and it's going to bring up, Quentin Passano. Nonetheless, it is a first down for the Bueller Crusaders. The ball at the Great Bend 42-yard line.
And it was kind of crazy because they made their run block look exactly the same. So if you're keying on a guard who is pulling and you're getting into his hip pocket, what happened is the guard pulled, our guys got into the hip pocket, and they came back across the formation with a little fullback dive up underneath there to pick up the first down.
First and 10 for Bueller. 8:19 to play second quarter. Bueller on top, 13-6. Handoff to Klaus. He has lots of yardage. He's going to be met as he crosses the 40. He ran 3 or 4 yards before he was even touched. He's inside the 40. Looks like a forward progress to the 37. That's going to be a gain of 5 for Ben Klaus. Second down and 5 for Bueller as they continue to move the ball on the ground, which they knew they would try this evening.
Well, and Bueller's doing a good job. The offensive line is doing a good job of scoop step, snowplow, driving our defensive linemen back. You cannot get driven back when a scoop step from an offensive lineman. You actually have to, again, pile it up, go to your knees, make a pile, and make the runner bounce.
Logan Turner, John Aldridge, Tanner Brown, Nixon Stanley, and a Bodie Rittenball up front. And there's a pitch. There's a late flag. Couple of flags thrown. Looks like this is going to be a penalty maybe against Bueller. As you might be able to hear the Great Bend faithful. Good crowd on hand on this Friday night. Not a bad crowd on the far sideline from Bueller. It was a gain for a first down, but I believe this play will be called back.
Yeah, I don't think you can be out in a perimeter and come back within the formation and block back to somebody that was in the line of scrimmage. And Hall had come up, and it looked like out there Dylan Skripnik had come in from the wide side of the field and kind of walled him off, but they are actually just going to call it a hold.
Hold from the spot of the foul. The foul was committed at the 41-yard line, so the ball is all the way back across the midfield stripe into Bueller territory. So they will have the ball at their own 49-yard line. This is going to bring up a second down, and we'll call it, they got to get almost to the 32. So it's going to be about 19 yards if my math is quickly correct.
And again, you're in good position here by the Panthers. They just need to manage the field at this point because, again, this is where you want Bueller. You want him in second and long and force him to pass.
In shotgun formation is the quarterback, Brandon Skripczyk. Right off to his right is Ben Klaus. As they move it left to right, Skripczyk with plenty of time, throws out on the 5. Ball's going to be intercepted for the Panthers. That's Jacob Hall. He's running. He's going to score. Jacob Hall, I don't see any flags on the play, and that's going to be about a 50-yard interception return by Jacob Hall. As Hall able to beat the eyes of the quarterback, Brandon Skripczyk, stepped in front of the pass, picked it off, and goes the distance, and that was the big play that the Panthers were needing.
Absolutely. We talked about they needed to go in there and rip the momentum away from the Bueller Crusaders. Nothing better than a pick 6 on the defense. Hall does an amazing job of just reading the eyes of that quarterback in his drop, sees where they're coming to the little curl route, and just floats right up underneath it and has the speed to kick it in and take her to the rack.
I'm going to give it 60 yards because they were at the 49. It was about the 40-yard line where he picked that off. So I'm going to credit Jacob Hall with a 60-yard interception return as Great Bend will go for 2 here. Minton looks, goes in the corner. The pass is going to be caught, but is it inbounds? Yes, it is. 2-point conversion is good, and Great Bend with a big momentum change. They go up 14-13 with a interception return at the 7-16 mark of the first half by Jacob Hall. And defense coming up big there for the Panthers.
Absolutely. Nice little pass over the top to Omok in the back corner of the end zone. The Panthers run just a little flood to that side to pick up the 2 points. If you're the defensive coordinator, you've got all your defenders because guess what? Yeah, we just had pick 6, but we're right back onto the field, and we got to just continue to do what we did that last time. Back them up. Force them to throw the football. They are not as efficient at throwing the ball, so that's what the Panthers, their big task right now is to take away that run.
14-13, 7:16 to play first half. Great Bend now on top by a point. Panther Sports brought to you on B104 through the point by People's Bank and Trust, Comfort Pro, Delgado's Mexican Restaurant, the Great Bend Rec, and Edward Jones. Great Bend. I'd ask you for a play drive and all that, but that was a 60-yard INT. I don't have to do that on that one, do I?
It was half. One half of a play.
One half of a play, okay. How about one heck of a play?
One heck of a play for half of a play.
Okay. Nonetheless, Jacob Hall with the INT, the pick 6, and Great Bend 14-13, 7:16 to play in quarter number 2. As Omar Rosario has the ball teed up. A couple deep back for return men for the Bueller Crusaders. As the right foot is swung, the ball is booted. It's a spinner, and it's going to go into the end zone to the north. It says Great Bend in red, and Bueller will start 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. We'll see if this energizes the Panther defense.
Great job by Razzo to pound that ball into the end zone and back them all the way back to the 20 and get your defense onto the field.
Unofficially, Bueller, Ben Klaus, has 8 carries for a 68 yards. Dak Smith is unofficially passing the ball. I have him 4 out of 9 for 79 yards. Running the ball, Great Bend not getting a lot of yards on the ground thus far. I have Cooper Omot. He has 4 carries for 7 yards. Left to right move of the visitors from Bueller. Down now 14-13. And guess what they do? They hand it right off to Ben Klaus. Klaus off the left side, goes across the 30. The drive started at the 20 after the kickoff into the end zone. So I guess it's across the 25. Out to the 28-yard line. That's a gain of 8. 2nd down and 2.
Just a huge push by that Bueller Crusader offensive line. Again, the Panther linebackers are having to make the stop in the first contact 3 yards deep behind the line of scrimmage.
2nd down and 2. Moving left to right, dressed in their white uniforms. are the Bueller Crusaders. They've been in the all-black tonight. Klaus tries to get to the outside, makes a man miss in the backfield, cuts up just outside the numbers, and falls forward across the 30 to the 32. That will be good enough for a Bueller first down, as they will keep this drive alive.
Nice job by Omok. He came up from his cornerback position to force the runner to have to come up inside, and Trenton Kern was just getting himself down the line of scrimmage and really was right there to pop him in the face.
Unofficially now 10 carries, 81 yards for Ben Klaus. He's a 5'9", 160-pound junior. If you heard the pregame show, head coach Steve Warner says he's not that big, but he runs hard, and he's proving that here tonight against the Panther defense that shut down Max Alexander last week from Olathe South. Under center is Brandon Skripczyk, barking out signals. He'll fake the handoff to the up man, gives it to Klaus. Klaus tries to make the corner, and he's going to be shut down this time as a wall of Panther defenders beats him at the 35. That's going to bring up a second down and 8 after the pickup of 2.
After that initial surge by the offensive line, Klaus wanted to bounce that around to the outside, but just a nice job by Jay Schartz of keeping outside leverage. He didn't allow the man to force him and roll him, log him to the inside. Instead, he was able to keep that outside leverage and force the ball carrier up inside to where the rest of the pursuit was coming from.
5:40 to play, second quarter. Great Bend on top, 14-13. A big interception return by Jacob Hall. Back to pass. There's a throw on the far sideline. It's going to be caught out there near the midfield stripe. Catch out there by Mitchell McDaniel. It's going to be a good enough for a Bueller first down, as they don't like to throw the ball, but that was a nice completion from Skripczyk to Mitchell McDaniel.
Again, we just got to do a little bit better job of getting out of our back pedal. Omok was, again, looking into the backfield, watching what was going on the play action. He needs to be more focused on that receiver if we're going to the cover 3 and be able to plant and come up.
1st and 10 for the Panthers at the 48. Hand off to Klaus. Klaus makes a man miss. There's a flag thrown. A couple flags now fly in. We'll see what this is. I think that's in the area of holding, but we'll see. The officials look at each other, and we'll see what they say. So Great Bend was penalized 4 penalties early, and now the last 3 are going to go against the Bueller Crusaders. As the Whiteout looks over to Steve Warner and the Bueller sideline and indicates who the foul is on. It is a hold. At the 10-yard mark off from the spot, moves it back to the 40-yard line. Because that's just a second penalty against Bueller for 15 yards. Ball at the Bueller 40-yard line, moving left to right here. Great Bend on top, 14-13.
You know, those penalties when you're a run team, they create so much of an advantage for that defense.
Well, they showed they don't like to throw the ball. Last time they put it up, the second to last time they put it up, Jacob Hall took it the other way for a GBHS touchdown. Official says now roll the clock, spins the arm, and everybody's set on the line of scrimmage for this first down and 18. Skripczyk rolls out to his left, looking downfield, now being chased, now misses a man and is going to be chased out of bounds across the sideline at the 42-yard line. And that will give him a gain of 2. That's going to bring up a second down, and we'll call it 16. Nice job defensively downfield by the Panthers.
That secondary had the receivers for Bueller locked in, and credit the Panther D-line. They got some pressure on him. Skripczyk was able to break contain around to the outside, buy himself a little bit more time, which put a little bit more pressure on the secondary. But again, they were true to their coverage and maintained contact with the receivers and bring up a second 16.
GBHS in their black uniforms. Now we have officials being blown. Is Aaron Beck having another conversation with a back judge?
I don't think he'll be getting a Christmas card from Aaron this year.
He probably won't be getting a very good official review either, as they
that's right.
They judge, they grade every official every game. It's second down and 16, 4:38 to play. First half, Great Bend on top, 14-13. Kind of the game we expected here tonight. Pass into the flat. It's a high pass caught by McDaniel, and he stepped out of bounds at the 47-yard line. That's going to be a pickup of 5. That ball was in the air for a long time.
Yeah, definitely. That's exactly what I was going to say. You know, when you are able to take Bueller's run game and they're throwing 35-yard, 5-yard out routes, that ball's up there a long time. That's a opportunity that the Panthers, with their team speed and their athletic ability, eventually somebody's going to run up underneath that and pick that.
See, you're teaching me something there, Sean, but I knew that ball was up there too long.
Too long.
Too long. 4:28 to play. Great Bend leads 14-13 as the stands are rumbling here at Great Bend Memorial Stadium. Unfortunately, we didn't got the fly over. There's a pass over the middle. It's going to be caught, laying down and making the catch right at the 40-yard line for the Bueller Crusaders. Can't quite get a number on him on that one. That was number 15. That's Brady Gotti, the tight end. He is 6 foot, 195-pound senior, but the Bueller Crusaders able to move the chains. 1st and 10 at the Great Bend 39.
And our D-line is gassed right now. That's tough. When you've got somebody leaning on you every single play, and Bueller, when they're running the football, there's a lot of contact, and guys are trying to push you around. That time, they just could not get any kind of pressure on Skripczyk, and he was able just to buy enough time to find an open man downfield.
Gain the first down at the Great Bend 39-yard line, moving left to right. They hand off this time to Ben Klaus, and Klaus this time dropped in the backfield. Jacob Hall, along with Connor Holliday, I believe, makes the stop in the backfield. That's going to be a loss on the play, all the way back to the 43. A loss of 4 brings up a 2nd down and 14.
Nice job by Coach Lutt there. He calls up a little bit of a run stunt, run blitz of his own. Holliday flies through that B gap and just really hits that play right in the face.
Great Bend scored first. Couple touchdowns there by Bueller, but a big pick 6 by the Great Bend Panthers. Jacob Hall put the Panthers up 14-13 after they were able to convert the 2-point conversion. There's a pass going to the left side. Nice adjustment on the ball in the air. Catch made by Bueller. He cuts back, and he's going to go into the end zone for the touchdown. Nice catch as the ball was in the air for the Bueller Crusaders. Nice adjustment. That was Cash Carson. He's a 5'7", 140-pound senior. Nice adjustment on the ball in the air. He made the catch, cut up on the far sideline into the middle field, and races into the end zone.
Tell you what, the Panthers actually had that defended pretty well. Had the defender on that wide side of the field actually found the football or even looked for the football, there's probably a pretty good chance that athletically he could have went up and ripped that ball out and away and came up with a pick, but he never found the football, and as he continued to drop into coverage, the ball was on its way, and the receiver was just able to run right under it and basically call a fair catch and run down the field.
That's a 43-yard touchdown pass. As they go for 2 here, Skripczyk running for the right pylon now. Late throw is going to be incomplete, and the 2-point conversion is no good. But the Bueller Crusaders answer after they got a stop, got the ball back against the Panthers. They're able to drive the distance of the field, and a long 43-yard touchdown pass from Skripczyk to Cash Carson, and Bueller back out on top. It's 19-13. 3:10 to play, first half. Great Bend trails it. We'll be right back. Great Bend Sports is powered by Equity Bank. They never forget it's your money.
Ladies and gentlemen, now that I'm in the first, third, fifth, and sixth graders, they completed the cheer camp this week.
That's what we need.
This is GBHS alum Taylor Calcara, Watkins Calcara Law Firm. We are full of Panther pride and are glad to call Great Bend home. Your home for Panther sports is B1043 The Point, KVGB Great Bend. Go Panthers!
Alongside Sean Bear, I'm Mike Hesher. A little bit late starting the contest tonight because of some weather in the area. It's 8:42 on your Friday evening. We do thank you for joining us here on B1043 The Point and Panther Sports. Bueller, 80-yard drive, 4 minutes and 6 seconds, 9 plays, capped off by a 43-yard touchdown pass from Brandon Skripczyk to Cash Carson. And after Great Bend had taken the lead on the pick 6 by Jacob Hall, Bueller does a nice job. They go 80 yards, take a little bit of time off the clock, and they go back out on top. 19-14, 3:10 to play in quarter number 2.
You know, and the good thing out of that drive, you made them throw the football. Now you just need to make your little adjustments in your secondary because you know you can play it better than that.
There's a low kick. Ian Premer is going to pick the ball up at the 12-yard line. He moves to his right, cuts up middle field, is across the 20, chipped up, powers forward, and is going to be stopped at the 24-yard line. That's where the Great Bend Panthers will start this drive. 3:03 to play in quarter number 2. Panther Sports brought to you by Farmers Bank and Trust, Innovative Livestock Services, the Marmy Auto Group, and Empire Realty.
You always like to see if you get that ball, and it's not necessarily a kick to the return man, and you get the ball away from where you had the return call, just get straight up the field and get what you can get, because a lot of times it takes so much time for you to go to the wide side of the field that everything's broken down anyway, and you really don't pick up yards when you might have been able to better yourself 8 or 9 yards by just taking it straight up the field.
Great Bend, 1st and 10 and throwing 24-yard line. 3 receivers split to the near side, 1 to the far. Jay Sharp standing right next to Dax Minton. Now he will split out into the formation. There's going to be a flag on the play as Minton is met as he crossed the 25-yard line. And I think Jay Sharp might have turned upfield just a little bit too early.
Well, and, the Panthers are kind of shooting themselves in the foot. Just these little ticky-tack mistakes, just not looking sharp. And that was indeed what the play was. We've got a little bit of a illegal procedure. If they could just get a hold of those, you're going to have to, because the yards aren't coming easy.
Well, as we mentioned in the pregame show, Bueller had 11 of their top 13 tacklers were back from last year's team. And they held Great Bend last year. They defeated the Panthers 20-14. So these two teams pretty much knew each other from last year, because both teams have a lot of players back.
Well, and anymore, I'm here to tell you, they're with the Huddle software systems, they can break down games like there's nobody's business. So yeah, you know exactly what the other team's going to be doing.
First down and 15 after the 5-yard mark off. Backs to pass, throws to the far sideline. This ball almost intercepted on the far sideline. Stepping in was Mitchell McDaniel. And if he picks that one off, he's going to return the pick 6 for the Great Bend got earlier, because there was nobody in front of Mitchell McDaniel. But the ball does fall to the green field turf, incomplete. Brings up a 2nd down and 15. 2:36 remaining first half.
That play is definitely there. You cannot miss that to the inside, because, again, you're breaking away from the defender who is left to the inside of the field. And if you throw that behind and he's even close to undercutting, you're right, that's a pick 6 the other way. He gets that on the outside, just a difference of maybe 12 inches. All of a sudden, it's a great pickup.
3 receivers split to the near side for Great Bend. 1 to the far. Minton back to pass, and we're going to have a penalty flag thrown. And did the play clock run out? The back judge threw the flag, so I'm guessing it's going to be another 5-yard mark-off against Great Bend. I have that there. 6th penalty, 51 yards against Great Bend thus far. 2:36 to play in the first half. Bueller 19, Great Bend 14.
And I got to be honest with you, if it's 6, you can't count, because it just seems like we've just been flag after flag after flag.
Well, I did grow up in Lawrence, so that might have something to do with my lack of counting skills. Minton back to pass, steps up, has Premer with the catch at the 40-yard line, and the man dives, misses him, and Ian Premer will go the distance. It's going to be an 81-yard touchdown pass. Dax Minton to Ian Premer. The juniors hook up, and Great Bend answers the Bueller touchdown with a touchdown of their own with 2:23 to play, quarter number 2.
And I got to say it, get that kid's hand out of the turf and get him out on the perimeter. Those are the kind of plays Ian Premer can make. Hey, if he's going to go to the next level and he's going to be a blocking tight end or do that, let him do that in 2 years. Right now, these Great Bend Panthers need that extra tool, that extra weapon on the outside to open this offense up and really take us to the level to where we are going to be a top-ranked offense in the state of Kansas.
2019 as Great Bend will set up to go for 2. That was a 79-yard touchdown pass. Dax Minton hitting Ian Premer. As Dax in the shotgun formation as Panthers go for 2. They throw onto the far sideline. Ball hangs up in the air. Running underneath it on the far sideline. Is that Cooper Olmont? I believe it was. So the Panthers able to convert the 2-point conversion. And it's 22-19 Great Bend after we talked about sustained drives, but this Panther team seems to live on big plays.
Well, and that's just it. They've got such weapons and such good players that, they are a threat on any given play with any matchup. And that's going to be the key to this offense is go find your matchups. And that's where I'm talking about with Premer. Don't stick him in the backfield. Don't stick his hand in the turf and, get him in a 3-point stance and expect him to block. Get him out there on the perimeter. Get him on a matchup. I'll be honest with you. A lot of times you'll see 5'10" corners. You'll see 5'6" corners, some small cornerbacks. Hey, put up our 6, what is he, 6'5"?
6'6",
6'7", and he's got speed. Get that matchup, and all of a sudden they're going to have to take guys out of the box, which is going to make it easier to run the football.
We're going to adjust that to an 81-yard touchdown pass. I told you I couldn't have. The ball was at the 19, so that's obviously an 81-yard touchdown pass.
Well,
I'm a little slow.
It's Friday.
It's Friday.
If it was Thursday, it'd be 83. And if we were in Germany...
well, we're not even going to go there, right?
You're right.
Okay. Oh. Yeah, okay. Long days.
Long days, a lot of fun.
Yes, it is. Having a ball tonight. This is a great game. 22-19. It's back and forth. Great Bend scored first. Bueller answered. Bueller scored to go up 13-6. And now it's been a seesaw affair since then. And Great Bend leads it 22-19. As Omar Razzo has the ball teed up right on the X, middle of the field here at the 40-yard line. Swings his right foot into the pigskin, and it's a low line drive, but it's going to hit at the end zone right there on the tee in Great Bend. And Bueller will have a 1st and 10 at their own at 20. We'll see if they have a big play capability here in the final 2:23.
And again, Great Bend's doing a great job on that secondary of actually defensively, of forcing them out of their run game. And when they shoot themselves in the foot, they are getting the opportunities that they want, which is script kicks, sitting back and trying to throw the ball up the field. But they've just got to do a better job of hanging with those receivers, always knowing where the ball's at. And by going almost like a man-to-man look on the outside, it gives you that extra runner or run defender on the inside.
I have Dax Minton 5 out of 10 throwing the ball for 168 yards this evening. See what Bueller can do here. They've been more of a grinded out team, but they have scored on a big play last time, and they're going to go deep this time. And the pass is, he hit Creamer. Almost had a great interception. Ball right at the Panther logo midfield. He got a left hand on it. Couldn't quite pull it in, but a great effort there by the Great Bend junior.
That is one that you make for your film of how to play a deep ball if you are the safety. You'd like to see him maybe get a little bit further sagged back, but there again, he's got to be able to be running up and run support. He reads it a little bit late, gets back, but what he did is he turned around, turned his head, found the football, and was able to break up the play.
2nd down 10 for Bueller. They're at their own 20-yard line. They're moving left to right here. Late stages of the second quarter. This time Skripczyk in the shotgun formation just tucks the ball and runs. He's out across the 25. We'll give him a 6-yard gain for Brandon Skripczyk. I have him unofficially 4 carries now for 22 yards. Ball at the 26-yard line after the 6-yard pickup.
You got to like them in 3rd and 4. This is that situation that if they are going to run, I like my chances. We're going to load up on the run, and if they do pass, that's okay because I got great defenders, and as long as we're knowing where the football is, we're going to be in good shape.
Shotgun formation for the senior quarterback, Brandon Skripczyk. Tall quarterback at 6'3". Back to pass, looking downfield. Pump fakes. Now will roll out to his left. There's a flag on the play in the area of holding. And a nice job defensively by the Panthers coming up as the Skripczyk thought he had a 1st down, but he got forced out of bounds. And that was Cohen Raborti. Nice job from the secondary linebacker position to come up. But there is a flag on the play. It's going to be a hold against Bueller.
And that's a big penalty because, again, it creates a situation where you're going to have probably 3rd and 16. Actually in high school, it's a spot foul, so you could have 3rd and 18. And if you can hold them, they are kicking into the wind, and there's 3 minutes left, there's a minute 30 left in the first half. You've got a chance, if you hold them here on defense, get your timeout called, you've got a chance to actually make a productive run at the end zone before halftime.
And both teams do have all 3 timeouts. Great Bend is going to decline the penalty. They want the football. So we'll give Skripczyk a 3-yard pickup on that play because Great Bend wants the ball back with more time.
And that's where Raborti does a nice job by him coming up and forcing that play out of bounds and leaving them short of the sticks. It gives them that opportunity. Had he picked up the 1st down, they'd have been forced to take that penalty.
And I think Skripczyk thought he had the 1st down, but Raborti would not allow that to happen. Kick is in the air. It's a short kick. It's off the side of his foot, and Great Bend will have great field position. This one almost hits the cheerleaders down in front of us, as that one was not a good punt. Let's see, the back judge goes to the 42-yard line, and the Great Bend faithful does not like the spot. The Great Bend will have it 1st and 10 at the Bueller 42 with 1:25 to play in quarter number 2, leading 22-19.
Mike Hesher, I got to tell you, I never want to pull out the cards against referees, but that I hold up my hand and you run until I stop does not work unless you were standing where the ball was kicked. And the white hat was 30 yards towards the sideline from where the ball was kicked. There's no way that works in that situation.
We are both in agreement. We don't like to criticize officials. If you want to do the job, if you criticize the officials, you do it. There's a pass to Omar. He's throwing downfield on the pass, and it's going to be, did he come up with it? Oh, what a catch inside the 10-yard line. Cooper Omar hit him. That was Jacob Hall with a great catch. He was in stride with the defender, but Hall just outdueled the defender for the catch, and Great Bend has a 1st and 10 inside the Bueller 8.
They call that high point. You go and you get that ball at its highest point. That ball was a good shot, great coverage by Bueller down there, but Hall, he's a basketball player in his off time, went up and ripped that out of the sky.
That's a 35-yard pickup. Handoff goes to, I think that was Cooper Omont, and he's battling, and he gets, nope, that's going to be Jay Simmons with the, Jay Sharks with the carry, and he's going to be knocked down at the 10-yard line. It's going to be a loss of play, a loss of a couple on the play, lost his helmet on the play, so he'll have to come out of the game, and he's not happy about something.
Well, it almost looked like he was saying that in the pile they had ripped his helmet back off his shoulders, so to speak. But hey, football's a rough game, man.
2nd down and goal. Ball at the 9-yard line. Great Bend leading 22-19. The explosive plays from Great Bend continue on the season, and now the Panthers will take their first timeout. Great Bend has 2 left now, and Bueller has 3. We'll take a timeout. Great Bend 22, Bueller 19. Great Bend inside the Panther 10-yard line. Panther Sports is powered by Equity Bank, and they never...
Started at 3 minutes. I didn't write it down.
well, I have 2:23 that they scored, so
we're up.
That'd be 37.
You hear us talking about our math skills as we're on the air.
Oh, we come back awful quick there, didn't we? Sorry about that, folks. That was a 2-play, 81-yard drive for the Great Bend Panthers, their last possession. They took 37 seconds. The big play was the 81-yard touchdown pass from Dax Minton to Ian Premer. Minton back to pass. They lob it in the corner. Ian Premer goes up and flag on the play. Premer comes down with it.
That should
be a touchdown. It's a touchdown. Some fans in front of us have their hands up in the air. They have the flashing lights going on, so we really couldn't see the official. But we talked about a play for Great Bend using the height of 6'6" Ian Premer. They did it right there, good for a touchdown pass of 9 yards.
That's something you and I had been talking about in the pregame about, Premer coming into this game had 6 receptions all year. They had underutilized him as far as in the offense, in our opinion. And the thing is right there, you get a one-on-one with that kid and let him go be an athlete, you're going to win most of those battles. And just a nice job by Minton to lay that ball high and let Premer just go up and, in essence, go get the rebound.
Good call. And he got that one. Good for a Panther touchdown. They lead at 28-19, 39 seconds to go. Omar Razio for the point after touchdown, and this one is good. So the Panthers have scored the last two possessions, and they go on top. It's 29-19. Great Bend now up by 10. This has been a back-and-forth affair here this evening at GBHS Memorial Stadium. Very entertaining contest between 4A Bueller and 5A Great Bend.
Both teams right now offensively are in somewhat of a rhythm, and Great Bend starting to figure out a little bit of what Bueller's doing. The big guys up front are starting to slowly win those little individual fights at the line of scrimmage, and they're starting to make more plays defensively than the offense is doing, driving them backwards.
Great Bend scoring on that touchdown pass from Dax Minton to Ian Premer. They go up 29-19. There'll be a lot of recapping and scoring here at halftime, as the halftime show will be brought to you by Stone Sand. We'll also check the stats that are brought to you by Chad Omott, DDS. I think you talked about him earlier.
Yeah, he was able to plant that back foot and run fast.
Was he really?
Yeah.
So Cooper got it, inherited it.
That inherently, Cooper was meant to and destined to be fast and fast.
All righty. Omar Razzio has the ball teed up at the 40-yard line, right in the middle of field turf. Here in Great Bend, swings the right foot into the football, and this one's a low liner. This one will bounce about the goal line and out of the back of the end zone. So Bueller now trailing by 10, 29-19, and Bueller will get the football to start the second half. Great Bend needs to make this a quick drive and get to the halftime locker room still up by 10.
Well, and that's one of those situations. What's Bueller going to do? Are they going to actually try to drive the field here in 39 seconds? They might run the ball, and if they get a big chunk of yardage, maybe. If not, I'm sure they'll probably just take it to the halftime. But the Panthers are going to be back in a definite deep prevent and not let anything get behind them.
They got 5 Panther defenders, 15 yards downfield. First and 10 for Bueller at the 20-yard line. Doesn't look. They hand it off to the up back, and this is going to be the up back, and that is Nick Gazaway, and he's out across the 30 for a gain of 11. As the clock continues to roll, do they call timeout? There's 31 seconds.
They'll roll the clock.
Now they'll roll the hand. Okay.
Yep.
After the first down, sticks have been moved, so out to 31 as Gazaway with an 11-yard pickup run on first down.
Looks like Bueller's just going to go ahead and be content with letting the clock run and roll here and get themselves into halftime.
What a first half this contest has been, 29-19. As we mentioned, we'll start your Stone Sand Company Stone Waste Management halftime show in a little bit, as Skripczyk will hand off once up the middle one more time. This is Gazaway. He's out across the 35 to the 38-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 7, and that's how your first half will come to an end. Great Bend in a very entertaining first half here from Memorial Stadium. The Panthers lead Bueller by a score of 29-19. We will start your halftime show brought to you by Stone Sand Company and Stone Waste Management here in a minute. Panther Sports is powered by Equity Bank. They never forget it's your money.
Dom Pipe Testing is proud to bring you live.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's halftime performance is brought to you by your Panther dance team. Their hip-hop routine this evening was taught at their UDA camp earlier this season. Good luck, dancers. Your music is on.
Stop.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about another hand for the Panther Dance Line? The Panther Pride Band will be taking the field for your halftime entertainment. The band has been hard at work preparing for the season and will present our show opener for you this evening. Earlier this month, the band was performed in the annual Hoytington Labor Day Parade, and on September 11th we traveled to the State Fair, where the Panther Pride Band received 1 rating in parade performance and arena performance. Our show theme this year is May the Forte be with you. With music from Star Wars Saga, tonight we will perform our opener, including Star Wars theme, Imperial March, and the Throne Room. Then we will visit Tatooine and the visit to the Cantina, featuring our Color Guard and Cantina Band. The band is taught by Director Grant Matthews, Assistant Director Kimberly Sims, and Color Guard instructors Melanie Manath and Donna Becker. The band is assisted also by Aubrey Manath. Thank you to our band parents for their help and support in making our band successful. Enjoy your halftime performance. Drum majors Abby Melson and Anderson Luttrell, take it away. marching band.
Just doing.
Jacob Hall. It's going to make the matchups more advantageous for him. It's going to make the matchups better for Cooper Omarkt on the outside. And then, you've got a steady diet that they have not seen yet of Jay Sharch. I don't know how much we're going to run Davidson in this second half. But, those are all things that the Panthers right now have to like what they're doing. And again, defensively, you're going to need, we used to call it bullets. It was a defense against an option type quarterback. Every once in a while, you would devour the flat route over there, or the flat, and you would bring a corner on a dead bullet straight at the cornerback or the quarterback, and a lot of times he would not see those guys coming, and you can pretty much deliver a knockout shot, and the safety just fills in over the top and takes that receiver. So, the Panthers are going to have to play some of their own little stunt games here and always keep Bueller guessing.
You talked about Ian Premer. Unofficially, I have Ian Premer 3 catches for 105 yards and those 3 touchdowns. Coming into tonight's game receiving, he had 6 catches for 76 yards. So he's eclipsed everything tonight.
Absolutely. And he was a big part, or the big reason that the Panthers actually were able to open up that offense and started getting a little bit of momentum, a little continuity. And I think, if you use him in that aspect, he does other things just by lining up. He can do some things and create opportunities for an offense.
And you can't forget about Jacob Hall's pick 6. That kind of got things started. The Panthers were down at that time 13-6 when the interception, pick 6 returned, and that kind of turned the Panthers' second quarter around.
In 30 years when Jacob Hall is a grandpa and he's doing his thing, I can just see him. Grandpa, did you ever have a pick 6?
Yes.
Because he just doesn't talk about it very much. He just likes to do it and do his own thing. I think they even alluded to that. They invited him up to come on to the air and talk about his legs. He didn't want any part of that. That's his thing. He goes, I just want to play football. They can all talk and do their thing, which you have to respect the kid because he does. He speaks on the field with his pads.
Well, they used to say you may not be old enough. When E.F. Hutton talks, people listen. That's right. Oh, you do remember.
Yes, I do remember that.
All right. Halftime score, Great Bend 29, Bueller 19. We'll be right back with the second half. Panther Sports on B104.3 The Point, powered by Equity Bank. They never forget it's.
You've been listening to the Stone Sand Company and Stone Waste Management Halftime Show. Second half action is next on B104.3 The Point.
Ready to tackle that big project? Stone Sand Company and Stone Waste Management is your rock-solid partner in demolition and hauling. Right now, you can rent roll-off containers at a groundbreaking low price. Clean up's a breeze. Fill it, and they'll take care of the rest. Plus, they can deliver more than 50 types of rock and sand right to you. Transform your space with just a call. Visit StoneSandCompany.com for inspiring before and afters. Stone Sand Company and Stone Waste Management, 421 Washington in Great Bend. Building your dreams from the ground up.
Great Bend Panther Sports on B104.3 The Point. Brought to you by Keller Real Estate and Insurance Agency, Equity Bank, the 10th Street Eye Care Center, People's Bank and Trust, Comfort Pro, Insurance Planning, Delgado's Mexican Restaurant, Edward Jones, Dom Pipe Testing, and the Great Bend Rec. And by the Field House, University of Kansas Health System, Scott's Welding Service, American Plains Co-op, Farmers Bank and Trust, Innovative Livestock Services, the Marmy Auto Group, Empire Realty, Advanced Therapy and Sports Medicine, GB Tarp Company, and Freedom Claims Management. Panther Sports also brought to you by Coldwell Banker Megan Wells, Advanced Truck and Diesel, Next Tech, Stone Sand Company, Stone Waste Management, Rosenberg Family Dentistry, Sutherland's, Great Bend Ready Mix, Kern Floor Service, Magna Dry Cleaning Services, Shelter Insurance, Chris Ramsey, and by Mitchell K. Haney and Associates. Panther Sports on B104.3 The Point.
Omar Razio has the ball teed up at the 40-yard line. Great Bend will be kicking off right to left here, and the pigskin is in the air. This one's going to be a short, high kick taken at the 10-yard line, but then deep back by the Bueller Crusaders. He's out across the 20 and will be dropped at the 25. That's where Bueller will start first and 10 at their own 20. We'll mark at the 26. How important is this first drive, Sean Baird?
Well, you want to set a tempo for this. You want to make a statement for the first half. Right now you went in and they got all kinds of grease boards up in the locker room and they're drawing up, hey, this is how we're going to stop. This is what we're going to do. And you got to go out and you just got to do it.
Great Bend 29, Bueller 19, just underway, third quarter. Mike Hesher along with Sean Baird, Great Bend Memorial Stadium. Back here again next week, Wichita North in town for that contest. Handoff going to the up man, and that is the big running back for the Bueller Crusaders. That's Ben Klaus, unofficially now 13 carries after the 3-yard pickup, 82 yards.
Just a great job by the interior defensive line there. They've got their win. They got their feet underneath them right now, and they were able to hold their own on that play.
You know, Klaus had a lot of early yards, but Great Bend kind of shut him down late stages of that second quarter.
Just made some adjustments.
That's what the game was all about. Second down, and we'll call it 8. The ball is the 28-yard line. Skripczyk with it, rolls out. The ball's loose on the turf, and it's picked up by the Panthers. Great Bend with the turnover. Who's getting it off the field turf with that ball? I believe that's Jake Hall. Jacob Hall with a pick 6 and a fumble recovery. That was just a bad pitch by Skripczyk. Kind of looked like he lost the handle of the pigskin.
Well, and again, we talked, the Panthers, they actually slanted. It was a perfect defensive call. They slanted right into the option. They had 2 or 3 guys right in the quarterback's face so quickly that I think when he looked up to read the end man on the line of scrimmage, he had guys in his face, tried to flip it, but it was not able to get a handle or a grip on the ball. And Jacob Hall's right there to be a vacuum sweeper, pick it up, and give the Panthers great opening field position.
At the 23-yard line, Great Bend moving right to left, or that would be south to north here at Memorial Stadium. Handoff going to Jay Schartz, and he's going to go nowhere. He lost the ball as a Bueller Crusader dived in and says, hey, I got the pigskin, but the official just says, nope, he was down. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 10, no gain on the play.
I don't like that because really the Panthers' offensive line doesn't look like they're getting any movement, and you know that they're a lot bigger than the defensive line of Bueller. I think the thing is they're just swinging and missing, not to have a Royals, another Royals reference, but they're swinging and missing, and they're not able to get good pads on these guys who are able to just create a ball of bodies and nowhere to run.
Just underway, third quarter. Great Bend with a 2nd down and 11. He did lose 1 yard on the play, did Jay Schartz. Mitten back to pass, looking to the left, going downfield, looking for Preener, wide open in the end zone, and for the 4th time tonight, Daxton Minton to Ian Preener for 6, and the Panthers, that's a 2-play drive, and what a big night. We talked about Ian Preener, hasn't really been utilized thus far. He's coming up big tonight.
And you want to talk about a swing and a miss. Jared Miller over there was on an island, and when you're on an island and you're out there at 5'10", and you got a 6'6" Preener against you, and Preener did an amazing job of a swim move over the top, and I'm not so sure Miller didn't get any type of touch on him for a jam released down the field wide open, and credit Minton for going right up over top and putting the ball right on the hands.
Omar Razio, point after touchdown. This one is going to be good, and the Panthers all of a sudden have a 35-19 lead as Minton and Preener hook up for the 4th time tonight, and that one was going for 24 yards. A big gain for Preener and Daxton Minton, and more importantly, the Panthers now lead up 36-19, 90 seconds into the third quarter.
Well, and the great thing is, are you ready for the play drive?
2 plays.
2 play, you got it. 2 plays, 38 seconds. The Panthers offense striking again quick, taking advantage of the turnover.
Jacob Hall with the fumble recovery. He has an interception return for 6 and a fumble recovery. Great Bend leads at 36-19, 10-27 to play third quarter. Panther Sports is powered on B104.3 The Point by Equity Bank. They never forget it's your money.
Scott's Welding is proud to support Panther Sports. Scott's Welding is fully insured, has certified welders with 24-hour service. For reliable service and community spirit, it's Scott's.
Back deep to the Crusaders, number 24, Carter Jones, number 8, Bueller, Skripczyk.
The official home of Panther football is B104.3 The Point.
90 seconds into the third quarter. Great Bend leads at 36-19. It was a back-and-forth affair until about midway through the second quarter as Omar Razio has the ball teed up at the 40-yard line one more time. He approaches the low line drive, and this one's going to skip into the end zone again. And Bueller will start 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line, now trailing by 17.
Well, and it comes back to, you asked, defense, go out there and set the tone. They create a turnover right off the bat. Offense drove down, scored. That's how you want to start off the second half. These guys are very good about executing a game plan, and we talked about scripts. They offensively probably had something scripted out, not obviously off the turnover, but the Panthers do a really good job of coming out early. Now can they repeat it on the second set of downs?
Bueller with the football. As the quarterback Skripczyk will keep it. He turns upfield, gets across the 20 to about the 23-yard line. Will give the quarterback Brandon Skripczyk a gain of 3 on the play. He's now 6 carries for 28 yards unofficially.
You know, and when you're a team that you are dyed in the wool and you are a running team, it is hard to come back when you're down 19 points, 17 points. When you're down a couple of scores, a couple of possessions, it's really hard to come back and just keep maintaining yourself as a running attack team.
Up front, Logan Turner, John Aldridge, Tanner Brown, Nixon Stanley, and Bodie Redenbaugh for the Bueller Crusaders under Steve Warner, longtime coach at Bueller, longtime coach overall. As this time Ben Klaus able to break a couple of tackles, battling. What a tough run there by the 5'9", 160-pound junior. He gains about 5 yards, and the play will give him 6. And it looked like that for a minute he was going to be stopped for about a 1-yard gain.
You know, I've never have been a big K-State fan. My wife and family certainly are. Was Deuce Vaughn, was he number 22? Because
I believe he was.
He looked a lot like Deuce Vaughn right there in the backfield, the way he sidestepped and missed. And, you know, he's got a small stature, so guys don't get clean shots at him. And honestly, sometimes it's hard to find him.
3rd down and 1. Watching tape, I had the same thought. 3rd down and 1 for Bueller. They're moving left to right. This time, looks like there's maybe a mix-up in the backfield. And Brandon Skripczyk, the quarterback, had nobody to hand the football to, so he is buried. Looks like Aiden Davidson with the sack. That's going to be a loss of about 4 on the play, brings up a 4th down, and Steve Warner sends on the punting team for Bueller.
Great job again by the defense of the Panthers. They were running a slant to the wide side, and Bueller was trying to run a bootleg to the wide side. Guess what? As he came out of the fake handoff, all of a sudden the Panther defense was right there waiting for him.
Ball at the 24-yard line. Punt formation for the white-cladded Bueller Crusaders. The snap is high, but Skripczyk using a 6'3" frame to go up and get it, and a fair catch called by Cooper Omott at the 47-yard line. That's where the Panthers will start this possession at their own 47-yard line. Panthers, after trailing 14-13, have gone on to lead 36-19, 8:17 to play, 3rd quarter.
And don't think for a minute that this isn't a huge drive. If the Panthers are able to ground it out, grind it out, and get into the end zone, you know, that's going to put that hallway that they have to walk down, meaning Bueller Crusaders, that's going to make that a very, very long hallway, and it's going to change all their play calls from this point on.
3 receivers split to the near sideline in a stack formation outside the yard markers. As Daxton Minton in shotgun formation, he'll fake the handoff, and keeper goes to the right side, has big yardage. Dax inside the 30, down to the 25-yard line, still battling. Going to be about the 26. Nice ball handling there by Dax Minton as he goes. That is about a 25-yard run, good for a Panther 1st down.
Hats off to offensive coordinator for the Great Bend Panthers. They actually go to a trips look, stack trips to the near side of the field. Bueller grabs a defender, moves it out over the top here, and guess what? All of a sudden, we had a man advantage inside the box. They called a quarterback draw on that. Minton does a great job of reading that block over on the outside and is able to cut up into the inside and pick up about 20 yards.
And a 1st and 10 at the Bueller 28-yard line. Panthers on top. Minton this time a little throw pass to Cooper Omott. Cooper makes a man miss, but then kind of gets knocked down by his own man as he tried to get it around blocker Hayden Kelly, but unable to do so. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 7 after the pickup of 3 on the Minton to Omott pass.
That's kind of, I think the term is RPO, run pass option. It looked like Minton brought it around here, and he's got the option. He can either tuck it upfield or zip it over here to Omott on the outside. The most important thing is your perimeter players got to lock onto those secondary players and maintain the block. If Kelly does just a little bit better job of that, we might actually pick up some more yardage.
7:40 to play, 3rd quarter. Great Bend on top by a score of 36-19. Moving right to left. Panthers now whistles blow, and I believe the Great Bend Panthers have called timeout. We'll see what the official says. He's going to say timeout, Great Bend. So the Panthers utilize their first timeout of the 2nd half. 7:40 to play in the 3rd quarter. Great Bend on top of Bueller, 36-19. We'll be right back to Memorial Stadium after this. Panther Sports is powered by Equity Bank.
Sack recorded by number 9, Jacob Bueller.
I can't hear you.
Safety was up over the top of our inside receiver, which a lot of times you got to alert blitz, and when the safety slides over, and meaning he's going to cover over the top, typically that means your outside backer is probably coming, but you just go ahead and lay that ball up high and let your receiver go run under it, because again, the middle of the field is wide open.
Up front, the Panthers, Inslee, Curran, Brown, Davidson, and Kaiser. There's a ball thrown deep into the end zone, looking for Cooper Omot. It's going to be overthrown, and I'll bring up a fourth down for Great Bend.
And I know it doesn't seem like it, but actually you can even put more air underneath that ball because there's nobody back there. Everybody's in chase mode, and as long as you put the air under the ball, that Cooper's going to be able to run up underneath it. You throw that ball too flat, and you have to be too fine with that pass.
Well, the yardstick across the way says third down. The scoreboard says fourth down. I believe it is third down. That's 16. I can't see that far anymore. It's too dark. Dak Smith in shotgun formation. Fakes the handoff, rolls out to his right, being chased, goes backing, and now throws it up for grabs. And there's a battle for it, I believe. Still notice. I believe it's going to be intercepted. The ball was up for grabs. I can't quite see who was going over that. Was it Cooper Omot again going for Great Bend? But it's going to be an interception, and Bueller gets the turnover. So the pressure back on the Great Bend defense.
Well, and no big deal. You know, actually the Panthers come out a little bit advantageous there because they were able to advance the ball up the field with the interception, probably picked up an additional 10 yards worth of field position there by having the ball intercepted up the field. So, you know, hey, some things look bad on the stat line, but work out in the game.
36-19, Great Bend, 6:41 to play, third quarter. Bueller with the football, moving to left to right in their white uniforms. They fake the handoff. Pitch coming in their sideline to Ben Klaus. And Klaus out across the 25. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up a second down and 10. And as you those adjustments you talked about, look at him gain a 1 to the 27. Klaus does not have the yardage he had early on in the contest.
Absolutely. In-man on the line of scrimmage is making the quarterback pitch it early. They're not slow playing and letting him widen out and create lanes. They're making him pitch it early, and then it just becomes a toss sweep at that point.
Second down 9 for the white-cladded Bueller Crusaders. Shotgun formation, 3 receivers split to the far sideline. Skripczyk back to pass, swing it out to Klaus in the flat on the left side. And he broke the tackle as slamming his hand to the turf was Cooper Omot. He thought he had Klaus in his grasp, but Klaus able to break out of that tackle and gains a couple more. It's going to run a third down and long for Bueller.
Again, just a great job over there of maintaining contain out on the outside by Jacob Hall. He's just got to go and finish the play. He did right. He read right, saw the play, came up the field, and unfortunately Klaus is just elusive enough that he was able to break the tackle.
Third down 7 for Bueller. Great Bend on top, 36-19. Under center is the quarterback Brandon Skripczyk down to pass. He's looking out in the flat's going to be overthrown. He was looking for Carson again, the young man who caught the touchdown pass for the Bueller Crusaders. That is Cash Carson. You gotta love that name, Cash Carson. I wonder if they were a Johnny Cash fan.
Or Johnny Carson. Maybe both. Could be both, absolutely. No, just a nice job of coverage right there. You know, if Cooper's watching this film this week, the one thing he's going to want to do is he's got to find that football, because in that place, if the ball is put right on the hands, it's a completion. But if Cooper's got his head back, he might be able to go up and pick that off.
A low punt, not a very good punt for the Bueller Crusaders. And here we go again with the walking it up the field, and they're going to spot the ball at the 47-yard line.
Well, at least the official was standing back by where the ball was punted that time, and he wasn't over on the numbers trying to estimate the angle.
Well, the ball pretty much landed right on the white stripe at the yard marker.
Well, that always helps.
That does help, yes. I could probably spot it in that situation. Great Bend with the lead. Great Bend Sports on B104.3. The Point is brought to you in part by Advanced Truck and Diesel, Next Tech, Stone Sand Company, Stone Waste Management, Rosenberg Family Dentistry, and Sutherland's. Great Bend with the football as they lead it to the 5:42 mark of the third quarter. It's 36-19. Under center, quarterback. They go under center. Dax Smith hands off to Jay Sharts. Sharts tries to get the corner turned outside the numbers on the right side, but he's going to get very little on the play. Bring up a second down and 9. Sharks, by my count, just 2 carries for that 1 yard.
And it's not my offense. I just don't like that. I don't like having Premer in the backfield in a 3-point stance because, again, you do so much just by alignment. And with Premer in the backfield, all of a sudden they had 8 guys down there in the box, and they had, matched up on the outside corners just man-to-man. Now as you move Premer out, all of a sudden you can see there's matchups all over the field that don't necessarily mean run the football. The more we can take advantage of these matchups on the perimeter, the more it's going to open up the run game.
Second down, 9.5, gained about a yard. Mitten in shotgun formation this time. Steps up, throws deep to Premer. Premer unable to catch up with this one as they were trying to hook up again. They've already had 4 touchdown passes tonight. Dax Mitten to Ian Premer. That one just a little bit out of reach of the tall 6'6" Ian Premer.
And I think if Mitten's got just a little bit more time back there, he's able to step into that throw, put a little bit more air into it, and Premer's got time to find the ball. It took Premer a minute to look up and find the ball. But there again, by matchup, he was open, and there is no safety in the middle of the field. Definitely the right place to go with the football, the right read to go with the football. Just a little bit more timing and a little bit more air, and that's a touchdown.
Unofficially, Dax Mitten now 7 out of 13 passing for 195 yards and 4 touchdowns. Shotgun formation, 3rd down and 10. Throws the far side. This one's picked off, and this is going to be a pick 6 the other way as the runner gets inside the 10-yard line, and he does a nice job cutting back. And what a big play there as the interception return by Mitchell McDaniel as he goes about 60 yards the other way. And that turned the fortunes around for Great Bend in the second half. We'll see if in the second quarter, see if Bueller can get things going in their favor here after that pick 6 by Mitchell McDaniel.
Well, and Minton had a little bit of problems with that same exact pass route in the first play. He's throwing it a little bit behind the receiver. That time he didn't lead him to the sideline wide enough. He had man-to-man coverage over on that side, but he also had it down here 3-on-3 to the wide side of the field. He might have been able to give that a little bit more of a look, again, with no safety in the middle of the field to try to take advantage of that. But if he just puts that ball to the outside, it's definitely the receiver was open. It was just an errant throw.
36-25. As we have a whistle on the PAT before the PAT, and now the kicker is going to jog off the field. I don't know if he's got an equipment situation. The kicker is Jared Miller, 5'10", 175-pound junior. Now we're going to have another kicker, a different kicker. This one's going to for Bueller. This one's going to be Fletcher Westfall. 5'10", 155-pound sophomore. He will attempt this point after touchdown. Holder for Bueller, that is Carter Jones. Snap is good. The kick is going to be just inside the upright on the left side. And just like that, Bueller makes it a 10-point game. It's 36-26 after the interception return for a touchdown by Mitchell McDaniel. And 36-26 Great Bend. We'll be right back on B104.3 The Point as Panther Sports is powered by Equity Bank.
Well, I like how when we ask, like go like this.
Check us out at fieldhouse.com.
Great Bend Panther football is on your station that rocks. B104.3 The Point.
Back at Memorial Stadium in Great Bend, Mike Hesher along with Sean Bear. The Bueller Crusaders answered Great Bend's pick 6 with a pick 6 of their own as Mitchell McDaniel goes 60 yards after picking off a Dax Minton pass. And it's 36-26. Great Bend's lead has been cut to 10. Big drive here for the Panthers.
Absolutely. You know, you just need to regather your composure. Come out. Daxton needs to grab back control of his offense. Let him know that, hey, that was on me. That was my bad, guys. Let's go out. And the Panthers, I like that they're throwing the football. There's no sense in trying to run the ball against a stacked box because all you're going to do is you're going to go 3 and out. So you might as well try to, again, take advantage of those matchups and make the right reads, put the ball in the right place on the right time, and move the ball. And eventually they'll have to start bringing a body or a safety up over the top to stop that. Right now they've got no safety, and they're stacking the box as well.
Back D for Panthers on the kickoff is Cooper Omont. He's standing about the 4-yard line. The ball is a short kick, and it's going to be taken by Ian Premer at the 13-yard line. He moves up the left side outside the numbers, runs over a man. We have a flag on the play. Lands at the 32-yard line, does the flag. Ian tackled about the 34, and I believe the Panthers will be penalized on the kickoff.
There's a flag on the play.
Well, Ian does a nice job of just taking the ball, just as we talked about in the first half. He took the ball and went straight forward. There's really no reason as a returner to reach out and grab a guy. I mean, just quite honestly, get what you can get and move yourself forward. But the Panthers are going to start this backed up to about their own 20.
Panther Sports brought to you by Great Bend Ready Mix, Current Floor Service, Magna Dry Cleaning Services, Shelter Insurance, Chris Ramsey, and Mitchell Haney and Associates. Ball will be spotted at the 21-yard line. This is where Great Bend will start this possession. The pick 6 made things a little bit more interesting here as Great Bend had been up by 17, maybe feeling a little bit comfortable, but now it's a 10-point game with 4:41 to play in quarter number 3. Great Bend moving right to left. They fake the handoff, and Dax Minton breaks a couple tackles and just kind of backs his way across the 20-yard line, gets back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be a 2nd down and 10 for Great Bend.
Well, the Panthers are just trying to spread the field here and get Bueller caught in looking into the backfield or, trying to run a little bit overzealous on the perimeter. But the thing is they've got the safety up over top, and they're actually bringing that outside linebacker, looks like Jacob Miller, in off the corner after he lines up, and he's able to add a little bit of run support to the box.
2 receivers split to either side for the Panthers. Jay Sharp standing right next to quarterback Dax Minton. 2nd down and 9. They gave him a gain of 1 on the play. Minton back to pass, has plenty of time. Now being pressured, is going to be dropped from behind, and lucky to hold on to the football as Dax Minton is coming in for the sack for the Bueller Crusaders. I believe that was Jackson Pratt as he was able to get by his lineman and makes the sack back to the 15. That's a loss of 7, and Great Bend facing a 3rd down and long. And this is not what the Panthers needed on this particular drive.
Hesh, we called it rubs and scrubs. Those are the kind of routes you can run right now. Again, it almost looks like they're going cover 0 with no free safety in the middle of the field. Instead of just running straight arrows down the field, hey, break it off to the inside, make a hard step to the outside, break it off, get some separation, come across the middle of the field because nobody's there.
3rd down, 16. Minton will roll out to his right, looking way downfield, throws it up for grabs, and this one will be way overthrown. He was looking for Jacob Hall as Daxton Minton was belted into the backfield. He was thinking maybe he was a late hit, but kind of limping as he comes off the field. But that's going to be a 4th down. That's going to be 3 and out, and then we'll give the ball back to the Bueller Crusaders as their pick 6 may have inspired their defense.
Well, it definitely did. Now they've got a little bit of the Panthers in disarray. Again, the Panthers were trying to throw the ball down the field consistently when, quite honestly, we just need to get a couple of guys, bring them in together, in twin formations, and just do a little rub, and we'll be just fine. We can catch a ball for 4 yards and run for 20.
75 degrees, punt by Trent Kern, down at the 45-yard line, but it'll be good field position for the Bueller Crusaders as they will start this drive at the Great Bend 45-yard line.
Big series right here for the Panther defense. They need to help out that offense, and when your brother's down, I'm going to step up, and I got your back. This is one of those times where the offense is kind of sputtering a little bit. The defense needs to, if they can, step up and have their back.
Spotting the ball at the 46-yard line in Great Bend territory, the white-cladded Crusaders come up to the line of scrimmage against the black-cladded Panthers. First and 10 at the 46. In motion goes Mitchell McDaniel. They fake the handoff. It's right up the middle. Nope, the ball. McDaniel has the ball. He's swarmed under. There's a flag on the play. He gets back to the line of scrimmage. A lot of ball faking there. And I always claim to be able to follow the ball pretty well. I lost that one.
Well, that was a great job, defensive end over on that side. It looked like Hall took on the lead blocker and was able to force himself up over the top, get outside leverage, meaning his outside arm and leg were free, force him back inside. Raborti was in hot pursuit and push him back to the middle of the field where all the Panther defense pursuit was coming from, and they forced the interior line there to go ahead and grab on to a pursuit guy and forced a huge penalty here of a hold.
10-yard penalty marked off against Bueller back into their own territory. Ball will be spotted at the 44. It'll bring up a first down and 20 for the Panthers as Owen Kaiser trots onto the field defensively for GBHS. Ball right at the red portion of the Panther logo, center of the field here at Memorial Stadium. Snap back to, they're going to run same play they just did, and McDaniel is going to spin out the tackle at the midfield stripe. Is that a misdirection play?
It was a misdirection play. They tried to make it look like they were going to do a rollout and gave a little inside handoff to McDaniel going to the wide side of the field, and great job by Premer, because if Premer overruns that play or doesn't make that tackle, there's a lot of green on that side of the field.
That's what I was thinking. If he got that corner turned, he was gone. As onto the field now for the Panthers, Hayden Kelly. Second down, and we'll call it 14. Ball right at the midfield stripe on the left hash. Under center, Brandon Skripczyk. Back to pass. Drops back, being pressured from behind. Able to step up. And now there's a Skripczyk able to get into Great Bend territory to the 49. They're gonna. I see no flag. Oh, there is a flag on the play. Good call there, Mr. Bear.
Sometimes I just talk and say things out loud. Sorry, Hesh. I didn't mean to speak during the middle of the play, but there was definitely a bear hug given over on the left side of the line by on our rush in.
All right. Bueller being marched back another 10 yards on this possession. The ball spotted back to the 40. They have to make it all the way to the Great Bend, the 37-yard line.
And through the years, the Panthers just need to be smart right here. So many times you see a crazy pass interference that gives them an automatic first down. Just play contain, keep the people in front of you, don't let anybody behind.
Second down and 24 as the clock rolls under 1 minute to play third quarter, trying to set up a screen, but the Panthers read it very well. Coming up, making a tackle on the far sideline. Was that Connor Holiday?
It appeared, no, it was Jackson Wandra.
Was Jackson Wandra. Nice
Wandra
job.
Staying at home. The awesome job out there on the corner. You know, it looked like Bueller was trying to press something deep. Wandra over there on that outside linebacker position did a great job of just again, he didn't try to do too much. He played his responsibility, read the screen, and was over there to blow it up.
Loss of 8 on the play, and now we'll say it. It's going to be third down and Hart's corner. We can't go all the way to St. John, can we?
Well, we might be able to go to Pratt on this play.
Okay, third down and 32. Final 15 seconds of the third quarter. Great Bend on top, 36-26. Back to pass to Skripczyk. Goes downfield, has a man open, and coming up, making an offensive play. That was Ian Premer, as the pass was intended for the Bueller Crusaders. Looking over the middle, that was Jeremy Gentry Jr. But Premer able to come up, make the defensive play, and brings up a fourth down punting situation for Bueller.
And again, we talk about game smarts. Premer didn't try to go to the ball through the receiver. He was going to go ahead and, hey, if you're going to catch that, I'm going to let you catch it in front of me. It's still going to be short of the first down, but I'm going to deliver a blow and jar that ball loose of you.
Cooper Omott back in punt form, back deep for the Panthers, standing about the 39-yard line. The punt is away, and they have been kicking away from Cooper Omott all night long. They haven't even come close to letting him touch the football on a punt. Well, or he's just a bad punter. I'm not quite sure which one.
Well, I think you're right. I think they're trying to kick away from him. But hey, it's advantageous when you kick it 20 yards out of bounds, and the officiating crew here, you know, they're going to mark it at the 42, which to me the ball probably should have been up a couple of yards. But hey, it is what it is. The Panthers need to go out. They need to have some ball control. It looks like we're going to be probably winding down here after this snap. We're going to have to take a snap in the third quarter, but we're going to push this right on into the fourth.
I think Aaron Beck is having the same situation with those punt spots as you are, as he was well out onto the field talking to the officials after that particular spot. Great Bend moving right to left here. Last play of the third quarter. 2 seconds remaining as they'll hand off to Jay Sharks. Sharks turns up the field at the numbers and gets to the midfield stripe. That's going to be a gain. There's the 45-yard line. That's a gain of 3. And we'll start the fourth quarter with Great Bend facing a second down and 7, leading by a score of 36-26. Great Bend Sports on B1043 The Point, powered by Equity Bank. They never forget, it's your money.
I'm Car Andrews.
Back in Memorial Stadium in Great Bend, Sean Bear, the color analyst, Mike Hesher. Great Bend led Bueller led 7-6 after one quarter. A big explosion in the second quarter by both teams. Great Bend came away leading at halftime by a score of 29-19. Things calmed down a little bit here in the third quarter, and after 3 quarters, Great Bend leads at 36-26 as we get ready to start the fourth and final stanza here on a Friday night. Couple of undefeated teams in action, Great Bend and Bueller.
One of those situations right now, it's kind of the old KISS situation. Keep it simple, stupid. Run the ball, move the clock, but you can't just sit on it.
Second down, 7. Great Bend now moving left to right. Direct snap to Cooper Almont. He turns upfield at the mid and gets out to the 45 to the 47-yard line. That's going to be a pickup of a couple for Cooper Almont. Unofficially, Cooper 5 carries for 9 yards tonight. Great Bend has not done much on the ground, but kind of be expected the way Bueller has stacked the box.
Well, they stacked the box, and again, they've got a small defensive line. If you look down there, our guys are definitely bigger, but they play a lot of little run games, and they've got guys shooting gaps and constantly making an X with linebackers and down linemen.
3 receivers split to the near sideline for Great Bend. Ian Premer goes in motion right behind the offensive line. There's a bad snap. Minton able to pick it up, and he's going to be dropped at the 39-yard line. That will bring up a 4th down for the Great Bend Panthers, as I don't know if Premer distracted Minton or Dax just didn't handle the snap back, but it's going to bring up 4th down, and here comes the punting team for the Great Bend Panthers and head coach Aaron Beck.
Well, just need to do a better job of running the offense in that situation. It looked like it was kind of a buzz, what they call a buzz motion, meaning the motion man goes to one side, stops, comes back across the formation, probably going to throw a little flat route out of that, but didn't allow him to clear the snap, and it actually hit Premer in the arm as he was running by.
Trenton Kern back in punt formation for GBHS, gets the kick away. It's a high kick. It's angled to the near sideline, bounces at the 37, takes a Bueller bounce across the 35. Gets it hit about the 33, bounced across the 35, and it'll be marked out at the 36-yard line. That's where Bueller will take over their first possession of the fourth quarter. Great Bend on top by 10, 26 to play in the ball game. 36-26 GBHS.
Comes down to that defense again, going out there and just, again, playing gap control, making sure they've got everything covered. It is a 2-possession game, so Bueller's going to have to play with a little bit of a sense of urgency, but they are well able to keep continuing to run the football.
No big plays for the Panthers here in the fourth quarter. As under center is the quarterback. He'll hand off to Ben Klaus, and Klaus tries to cut it to the outside. He's going to fall forward for a couple out to the 38-yard line. That'll be a gain of 2, 2nd down and 8, as we have 10-15 to play in the contest.
Cohen Raborti was nowhere near the tackle, but he created that play. He created that tackle. What a great job. The kid takes a year off, decides, hey, I want to hang out with all my buddies, and they're playing football, so I'm going to go back out. And he's an impact player out there on the defense, does a great job of maintaining outside leverage, forced the ball carrier up inside, and allowed his linebackers to come in and clean up.
Double tight for the Bueller Crusaders. One back off to the side of Brandon Skripsick, and they'll hand it off. They'll fake the handoff. Skripsick rolls out to his right, and there's a man wide open, makes the catch at the midfield strike, and Cooper Omont comes up, lays a hit on the receiver. The pass is complete for a first down for Bueller, but Cooper Omont with a great hit on the receiver for Bueller.
A nice job by Cooper Omont to come up and try to jar that ball loose. There was plenty of pressure on Shipnick as he was rolling out to the right, but the Crusaders did a good job of getting Gazaway out of the backfield, slipped him out into the flat, and Shipnick was able to put the ball right on him.
Ball right at the midfield stripe. Bueller moving right to left here in the fourth quarter. In motion comes Mitchell McDaniel, and the handoff going to making some men misses. That Ben Klaus? I thought it was number 20.
Number 20, Max Harmony.
That was number 20, Max Harmony. And he gained about 4 on the play. That gets spot him out to 47 to Great Bend. That'll be a gain of 3.
Nice job defensively, staying at home. Again, a little bit of a mixed direction on an inside handoff by Bueller, trying to test the backside, making sure that they're not slanting away and leaving that running lane. And plenty of Panthers were there to stop the ball carrier.
Second down, 7. I formation for the Bueller Crusaders. The under center is Brandon Skripsick, back to pass, looking for an out pattern to Mitchell McDaniel, and a nice catch over there on the far sideline by McDaniel. Throw was a little high, but the 5'8", 170-pound senior went up and got it. He has a catch at the 37. That's a gain of 10. Good enough for a Bueller first down.
And the Panthers are playing a 3-deep coverage, and what happens with that is you've got the deepest third, so your cornerback is dropping, not to get beat up over the top, and Bueller is just taking it and breaking that route off for the first down yardage.
Ball at the 37-yard line. Great Bend up by 10. As Bueller now inside Great Bend territory. Back to pass to Skripsick. Rolling out to the near sideline. Flips down the corner. Catch is made by the young man again. That is Max Harmony. Harmony didn't see much of Harmony in games coming up to this point thus far, but he's made the last couple of catches for the Bueller Crusaders.
And that is really tough to do as far as when they've been running the football all the time. Harmony's been going out, and he's been hitting that outside linebacker, being the lead blocker. Well, now he's going at the outside linebacker, but instead of hitting him, he's just running by him and going out into a pass route. Well, nobody's picking him up, and Bueller's able to find him wide open in the flat 2 plays in a row.
Gain of 13 on the place. First and 10 for BHS as they move it right to left here in the fourth quarter. As they fake the handoff to McDaniel going down the middle of the field, and Ian Premer picked off. It's picked off, and he deflected to himself. Ian Premer out back across the 20-yard line. Did he tip that to himself?
He absolutely went up over the top. He had such a size advantage over the receiver. He was able to jump up, tip the ball up in the air. Who was that? Rodman? Dennis Rodman used to do that. When he was going for rebounds, he'd tip it to himself if he couldn't get it the first time, and often catch it on the second time. Just a great job by Premer to get back there, recover, tip the ball to himself, and create a huge turnover for the Panthers.
We have a injured Panther on the far side of the field as the Panther training staff runs over to check on the injured Panther. So we're going to take a timeout. 7:57 to play in the contest. Great Bend leads at 36-26. Great Bend Sports is powered on B1043 The Point by Equity Bank. They never forget, it's your money.
That's not good. Upside down. No, it's not upside down. Did you just turn it upside down? That's your tinted visor. I know. Basically an off-grade is you got it off.
One yesterday and one this morning.
Well, Coach Beck told me they'd actually called some college teams to see what they did, and they have IVs in the locker room at halftime.
Well,
Aaron said, well, we can't quite afford that.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Those are a little expensive, but Kevin Supisi and Aaron Beck have been scratching their heads, doing all they can to try to figure out something to help with the cramping. Hopefully he's going to get cooler, and that's not going to be much of a situation. Great Bend with the football, and the pass is dropped on the far sideline by Cooper Omont, as Great Bend will face a second down and 10. 7:54 to play in the game. Great Bend leads it by 10, 36-26. After an explosive second quarter, things have kind of settled down.
In so many ways, that is a tough play. Cooper's out there. You just got to catch it before you run. Minton was able to put it right on him. Unfortunately, when you do drop it, clock stops, and right now you want to be able to chew up this clock because it is still a two-possession game.
Great Bend has been unable to run the football tonight against the Bueller Crusaders. Jace Schartz in motion, and then Dax Minton takes the snap and just tries to move it upfield. He gets to the 27-yard line. That's going to be a gain. He's to the 30. He's to the 29. That'll be a gain of 2. Third down and 8.
You know, the Panthers have a great opportunity here if they can somehow run a little bit of a play action or an action to the swing and then come back up over the top inside on a short drag route. It is there. They're just having a tough time of running the ball right now because, again, they're locking us up man-to-man over top and are able to have that extra defender in the box.
3 receivers split to the far sideline, 1 to the near. And somebody jumped. There was a bluff move by a Bueller Crusader defensively, but I think that made a Panther flinch, and that's going to back the Great Bend Panthers up 5 more yards. And I would have to agree with you. It seems like 8 penalties. They've had more than 8 penalties, but that's what I have.
One of those situations where you're a new kid into the game. Receiver comes in to fill in for Fancher, who's out with cramps, and unfortunately just got a little bit overzealous and get it next time, buddy.
Third down and long for Great Bend. They're back to the 14. They got to get all the way out to the 37. Third down and 23. Third down and 14. Back to pass Minton. He gets the snap. Looking downfield, has a man open over the middle. It's going to be a little bit underthrown. Cooper Omont tried to go down and pick it off at the shoe tops, but the pass is incomplete. And it's going to be a 3 and out. That Bueller is going to get the football right back. So Great Bend unable to capitalize on the interception by Ian Premer.
Again, one of those routes where when you got man-to-man coverage and you got a guy on your hip, the way you get separation is to break horizontally across the field. That allows you to get a couple of steps because he's going to still be bleeding down the field, and when you break your route off and you angle it down the field, you don't create separation. What you do is you break it across the field, quarterback leads you over there, you catch it for 7-8 yards, and you run away from the defender.
Trent Curran in punt formation gets the kick away. He'll hit at the 45, bounce into Bueller territory. It's going to go out of bounds. Nice kick by Trent Curran. Rolls all the way down to the 34-yard line. Nice punt there by Trent Curran, as he's done a lot this season. Got a lot on the roll.
Everything right now is big in a game like this. Trent Curran just came up with a great punt down the sideline. Again, it's not really a coffin corner, but he kicks it over there into the corner and is able to get a great roll. The defenders did a good job of not jumping on the ball too early, going ahead and let it roll out. And as it's rolling, of course, the clock is moving.
6:35 remaining. 36-26. Great Bend on top by 10. Bueller with the football as they move it right to left here or south to north at GBHS Memorial Stadium. They fake the handoff of McDaniel. Back to pass is Skripczyk going down the field looking for Quentin Pisano. Ball overthrown as in defensive coverage for Great Bend was Premer and Cooper Omont. Nice to see Ian Premer back out on the field.
Pisano runs a little inside out route, almost like a post corner, and Cooper does a good job that time of actually turning his hips, turning around and finding the football. And if that ball would have come in within range of Pisano, Cooper definitely had the route undercut and would have picked that ball off.
Up front for Bueller, Logan Turner, John Aldridge, Tanner Brown, Nixon Stanley, and Bodie Rittenbaugh. Second down and 10 in shotgun formation. Brandon Skripczyk. He has 3 receivers split to the near sideline. Now one goes in motion. They hand it off to Klaus. Klaus makes a man miss. He's up to the 40-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 5. It's going to be a 3rd down and 5 for the Bueller Crusaders.
Nice job by the Panther defense there. Halliday came up, Trenton Kern came up, and Trenton, we haven't called his name a lot, but he is always around the football, got a great nose for the football, and came up and made a big hit on that play and created a 3rd down and 5.
Unfortunately, unofficial numbers for Ben Klaus, 17 carries for 96 yards. Coming into the game, he had 328 yards in 2 games. 3rd down and 5, I formation. Klaus the deep back as Skripczyk looks to the far sideline. Pass is caught. The defender for Great Bend falls, and with the catch, that was Quentin Pisano. He has a 1st down catch to the Great Bend 42-yard line as the Crusaders move the chains.
And the Panthers just aren't able to get that linebacker out there to get up underneath or get into that throwing lane. The secondary defender, really, it's not his coverage because he can't get beat deep, so he is bailing to the deep third of the field. They have to have a backer that can fall out underneath that, but they're too involved with stopping the run game.
Skripczyk back to pass again on the 1st down play, throws a pass over the middle field. Pisano with another catch. He's dragged down by Ian Premer, but it's going to be a catch down to the 31-yard line. Now the official says it did hit the turf, and there is a flag on the play. It's going to be a hold against the Bueller Crusaders, so that'll back the Crusaders up 10 yards on their unofficially 6th penalty of the night for 55 yards.
And we've basically got them right now where we want them. We want them in a throw, somewhat of a panic mode. They're out of their normal comfort zone by running Klaus all the time. You have to watch Klaus because they'll find creative ways to get him the ball right now, and most of the things are going to come off of play action to him. But again, you got to be deeper than the deepest and keep everything in front of you at this point.
5:34 and counting, 4th quarter. Great Bend on top by 10, 36-26. It was 7-6 after 1 quarter, 29-19 at halftime, 36-26 after 3 quarters. Neither team has scored yet here in the 4th quarter. Skripczyk, shotgun formation, rolls out to his right, steps, fires down the field, looking for Pisano, and we're going to have an incomplete pass as the Great Bend defender just was running down the field. I was Jacob Hall just running down the field with his hands up. There is another flag on the play right at the midfield stripe. And this is going to be another hold against the Bueller Crusaders. So this will back them up 10 more yards.
Well, and those are spot fouls. Those are huge because they're further in the backfield, which means that, it's not necessarily just a 10-yard penalty. It could result in a 13 or a 14-yard penalty. And now we're getting to, to where it's about 1st down and Hoisington.
I was going to say, we're going north.
We're going north
we're
now,
going
so
north.
we got to go with Hoisington.
Yes, I got it. I can see my house from here. Okay, never mind.
But nice job defensively. Again, you'd like to see Hall turn around and find the ball. By not finding the ball, he leaves himself open to the subjectiveness of the official over there, whether or not the ball is going to be catchable. But if he turns and finds the football, he's played the play correctly, and it's a lot less likely to draw a flag.
1st and 30. The ball at the 38-yard line, and I believe the officials did warn Great Bend with a sideline warning. So as you've talked about a couple times, this is where you really have to keep the ball in front of you.
You keep the ball in front of you, and again, don't go through the receiver. If he's going to catch something for 20 yards, let him catch it because you don't want to give them an automatic 1st down.
As it is a 2-score game with 5:13 to play. Brandon Skripczyk, shotgun formation. 2 receivers to the far, 1 to the near. They're going to pitch it to Klaus. Klaus going to be drugged down from behind by that man. Once again, Connor Holliday able to just get into the reach of Ben Klaus, pull him down for basically maybe a 1 or 2 yard gain, but the clock will roll under 5 minutes to play.
Fantastic job by Connor there. He shot the gap and was able to flatten out very quickly and able to reel in Klaus. It looked like he might be able to get the corner, but he did a great job of playing his gap control and stayed at home.
Actually, it's a 1-yard loss on the play. That's going to bring the ball back to the 37-yard line. 2nd down 31 as the clock rolls under 4:30 to play. Great Bend on top by 10. Back to pass is Brandon Skripczyk looking to the near sideline. The ball deflected. Oh, what a catch. Coming up with it is Pisano, still on his feet as several Panthers finally drag him down. That ball was tipped Nice concentration there by Quentin Pisano to come up with the catch. It's going to be a gain of about 11 on the play. Bring up a 3rd down and 20 for Bueller.
Man, I tell you what, on film on Monday, they're going to be looking at that play saying, guys, that ball is in the air so long, we got to have somebody go up and get that.
Ball at the 48-yard line. 3rd down, 25. Skripczyk rolling out to the far sideline. Little dump pass, and it's going to be incomplete on the far sideline. I believe that was Mitchell McDaniel over there that Skripczyk was trying to get the ball to. It was Pisano again, incomplete. So with 3:44 to play, Bueller faces a 4th down and 25, down by 10.
And this is one of those situations you do not want an interception. If they catch the ball, great. As long as it's not at the yard markers, great. But you don't want to go for an interception and create a penalty. Just knock the ball down, because typically they're probably going to try to throw it up the field for 20 or 30 yards. If you knock it down or if you intercept it, that could cost you 30 yards. Just knock the ball down and don't play through the receiver.
Skripczyk back to pass, has plenty of time. Now steps up, and it's going to be thrown down. Coming in for the tackle was Trenton Kern with the sack. You mentioned didn't seem like he had done much. That was something big right there. Trenton Kern with a sack, and Great Bend gets the ball on down.
Well, they talk about putting an offensive lineman on skates. That time they called up the backer blitz. They were just coming. They weren't going to sit back and play zone and let them just have all the time in the world to get down the field. They brought Trenton Kern through that B gap, and he was able to get his lineman on skates, drive him right back into the hip pocket of the quarterback, and then he was able to lasso him up and get the sack.
Wow, so 14 on the play. Great Bend will take over on downs. Ball at the Bueller 34-yard line. 3:38 remaining in the contest. Great Bend 36, Bueller 26. Shotgun formation for the Panthers. Dax Minton hands off to Jay Sharts. He tries to cut back. He's going to fall forward for about a yard to the 37-yard line. And we have a timeout called by the Bueller Crusaders. They have one left, I believe. We're going to take a timeout as well. 3:31 to play in the game. Great Bend 36, Bueller 26. We'll be right back to Memorial Stadium after this on B104.3 The Point. Panther Sports is powered by Equity Bank. Never forget.
A proud supporter of Panther Sports. Sutherland's helping America build it better since 1917.
Freedom Claims Management Incorporated proudly supports Great Bend Panther Sports. Let the experienced and dedicated staff at FCMI customize a health insurance plan that fits your business needs. Whether you're a large corporation or small business on Main Street, Freedom Claims Management Incorporated has you covered.
Great Bend Panther football is on your station that rocks. B104.3 The Point.
Alongside Sean Bear, I'm Mike Hesher, bringing you Great Bend Sports, Great Bend football this season on B104.3 The Point. Great Bend up by 10, 3:31 to play in the contest. They have it 2nd down and 9 at the Bueller 33-yard line. Moving left to right. Shotgun formation for sophomore quarterback Dax Minton, but they snap it directly to Cooper Omott as Minton did go in motion, and Omott falls forward to the 32. That'll be a pickup of about 2. Going to bring up a 3rd down and 7. Second timeout utilized by the Bueller Crusaders.
I like to see the Panthers try to run to that perimeter. A lot of times when an offensive or a defensive line is slanting one way or the other and you catch them in the wrong direction, potentially they think we're going to run to the perimeter on the wide side of the field, so they'll slant that direction. Well, if all of a sudden you run to the perimeter here on the near side and you can get one backer sealed off on the outside, the D-line slanting away, you can get a big run. Unfortunately, when you're going between the tackles in that situation, it's really tough because you've got guys slanting towards gaps and covering gaps, and so it's a lot harder to run up the middle against the slanting defense.
Panther Sports on B104.3 The Point, brought to you by Dom Pipe Testing, Advanced Truck and Diesel, Rosenberg Family Dentistry, Delgado's, and People's Bank and Trust. I think we forgot to do the score first with the Panthers after the Panthers scored a little bit ago. So we'll just go ahead and do that now if you'd like. As a handoff going to Jay Sharts, he tries to break out of a tackle. He's going to be knocked down at the 30-yard line, as I believe the Bueller Crusaders will do their last time out. So Great Bend did score. Unfortunately, we kind of missed the Delgado's first score. We will now take the third person to text 620-639-6WIN. That's 620-639-6946. You can win a free meal of your choice from the Delgado's menu. 620-639-6WIN. 3:19 to play in the ball game. It was 7-6 after the first quarter. Bueller led it by 1. Great Bend had a big second half. They led at second quarter. They led at 29-19 at halftime. Great Bend able to score in the third quarter to go up 36-19. Bueller would come back and make it 36-26 after 3 quarters, and neither team has scored here in the fourth quarter. As a little late tonight, as we had a 45-minute lightning delay to get the ball game started. Great Bend in action at Memorial Stadium next week as they will take on Wichita North. So the 3-game homestand for the Panthers coming to an end next week. Then it's on to Dodge City and then on to Liberal as WAC play will begin in a couple of weeks.
Look for Minton, try to draw them off sides here, get a freebie.
4th down and 6, back to pass, lobbing up for Ian Premer as the defender falls. Ian Premer able to just make the catch and kind of back into the end zone for the touchdown. I don't see any flags on the play. Another touchdown pass as nobody's celebrating, so there must be a flag on the play.
They're going to call.
Taunting?
No, they're going to call. Oh, it was a defensive hold.
Okay.
Defensive holding. I thought they were going to call Premer for a great move at the line of scrimmage. He ripped through that outside cornerback. Again, you talk matchups. Stick Premer out one-on-one. Get the matchup you want. He did a great job. Great move on the outside. Ripped through it just like it's taught and was able to capitalize on the 4th down.
So Ian Premer and Dak Smith are having a big night together. Ian also has a big interception earlier in the fourth quarter. So Great Bend now leads at 42-26 as we await the PAT by Omar Rezio. The snap is good, the hold is good, and the kick is good as well. So Great Bend leads it by a score of 43-26 with 3:13 to play into the ball game.
Just an awesome job tonight. You want to be a top recruit in the nation, you come out and you play like that. That's what's going to get you noticed by a lot of schools. Not that you haven't been noticed, but we saw tonight what the kid can do. You know, he's been kind of quiet the first 2 weeks. Didn't really get utilized in the offense. Was more of a run game, pass pro. Now you stick him out there. Now for the rest of the way, they're going to have to move people all around to cover him, and then all of a sudden he's going to become a defensive coordinator's worst nightmare. And when he's on the perimeter, you know, look for Great Bend to have a lot of success running the football now by moving Premer out. You want to talk about making him a blocker? Move him outside the formation, and he'll block 2 guys because they'll take 2 guys out of the formation to go cover him. So just a great job tonight and great adjustments by the Panthers.
Dak Smith to Ian Premer for 4 touchdowns tonight, and Premer also added an INT. 3:13 to play. Great Bend leads at 43-26. And we cannot forget the interception return for a touchdown by Jacob Hall, with Great Bend trailing 14-13 midway through the second quarter and struggling. It was Jacob Hall who came up with a pick 6 to put Great Bend back out on top 14-13 after they were trailing 13-6. Kick is away by Razio, and it's going to be fielded at the 4-yard line. He fumbled it back into the end zone, and since it did cross the white goal line, automatic dead ball, and Bueller will have it 1st and 10 at their own 20.
Razzo's done a great job of kicking that ball into the end zone all night long, and it's a heck of a lot easier to get them to start with 80 yards to go versus a little squib kick to the 10 that they get the ball about on the 35. So hats off to Razzo tonight, and he's done a good job on PATs. They got a little pressure, and he got rushed a couple of them, but he's getting more comfortable back there, which the Panthers and the level of play that they're playing at, it's going to be very important in all aspects, and that kicking game is going to become vital and could cost you down the road, or it could win you games down the road.
3:12 remaining. Great Bend up 43-26 as Brandon Skripczyk back in shotgun formation for the Bueller Crusaders. Looks like they play out to pretty much. Well, the ball is deflected, and it's going to be, whoa, I tell you, young man has made a couple great catches tonight. Quentin Pisano came up with that deflection. Not going to gain any yards on the play. Actually going to lose 5 yards or 3 yards. They're going to mark it at the 18, so he lost 2 on the play. But one of those where he could have just deflected it and knocked it down. They'd have a second down and 10 instead of second down and 12. Back to pass. Skripczyk breaks out of the tackle, is rolling out to his right. He's able to throw it toward the sideline for Pisano, but it's out of bounds. It's going to bring up a third down and 12 at the 18-yard line for BHS.
Boy, I tell you, this is where defensive line, you know that they're in a passing situation. You just pin your ears back and go. You've got plenty of coverage behind you. Your linebackers are back. Trenton Kern is up there. You know, they're not sitting back and making the linebackers in coverage. They're going to keep putting pressure on Skripczyk, and they're bringing Trenton Kern every time.
2:38 to play. Great Bend looking for win number 3 to start this season, and they will host Wichita North next Friday night here at Memorial Stadium. Hope you all can come out. It's homecoming, I believe. Hand off to the up man is Ben Klaus. Klaus out across the 25-yard line. He's going to get to the 26. That'll be a gain of 8. Bring up a fourth down for the Bueller Crusaders.
Does that put him over 100 yards? Because at 60-some at the halftime, the Panthers have done a great job shutting him down this second half.
Man, you are good. That was 103. Skripczyk rolling out. He's going to tuck it, be chased out of bounds, and nice job there on the sidelines by the Panthers. That was Trenton Kern. Looks like he was about ready to slam the quarterback Skripczyk to the turf, but realized he was on the white stripe that indicates out of bounds, so he pulled back, and that's a turnover on downs. And with 2:10 to play, Great Bend is going to get the ball back and have victory number 3.
Just an awesome job tonight. Again, we talked about the adjustments that were made by Bueller early, by Coach Warner. Well, I guarantee you our Panther coaching staff, hats off to you guys. They made the same kind of adjustments, obviously better adjustments by the time you look at the scoreboard. And the Panthers did a good job of being able to adjust and modify their game plan.
Bueller out of timeouts. Great Bend in a victory formation, as they say. The ball is snapped, and the clock will roll under 2 minutes to play with Great Bend on top 43-26. Dax Minton now jogs over to the head coach, Aaron Beck. And Aaron and the Panthers go to 3-0 on the season, win number 44 in his 9th year coaching at Great Bend. Big crowd on hand tonight. Thank everybody for showing up. Big weekend in Great Bend. Hope you're able to make it out to the Air Fest while it's in town. Sure not disappointed that we did not get to fly over, but those things happened with the storm that rolled through about 5 o'clock. Once again, victory formation. Dax will just step back a couple of yards. Delay in going down, so the clock was going to continue to roll anyway. As the clock rolls under 1:15 to play, they'll bring up a third down. Yardage not really mattering at this point for GBHS. It was a battle through the first 27-28 minutes of this contest before Great Bend finally went up 36-19 with their third quarter touchdown at the 27 mark. At that time, that was the fourth touchdown pass, the third touchdown pass from Ian Premer, or from Daxton Minton to Ian Premer. They've ended up with 39 seconds to go, and that's going to do it. The Great Bend Panthers coming off the field. Dax Minton slapping hands with some teammates, as is Ian Premer. And they said it was a revenge game. I don't really believe in revenge games, but the Panthers able to get a win over Bueller. Bueller got the win last year in Bueller by a score of from 20 to 14 tonight. Great Bend wins it by a score of 43-26. Great Bend Sports is powered by Equity Bank. They never forget it's your money. We'll be right back, and we will start your post-game show that's brought to you by Peoples as the